Well, are y'all stuffed? Did you eat all of your Thanksgiving festivities for the holiday? How are y'all? Good to see you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all the things. Because you know why? It's the day after Thanksgiving, and this is when it is expected that you spend said coins, said dollars. But I'm going to temper that for 2.32 seconds of a millisecond, all right? I know your wallet is itching. I know for some of y'all, you unlocked that debit card today. You said, I'm going for the gold. I'm getting everything there is to get that I wanted to get. Maybe last year, maybe this year, but you're getting it this year. Just 2.32 of a millisecond. All right, let's discuss some things, whether you're watching this live on the replay. Thanks for being here. My name is Diana Gladdy. I'm your hostess with the mostest here on the Friday Live Helpcast. Today, we're going to be covering some deals, but I'm not going to exhaust you with a bunch of stuff to spend money on, because the honest truth is most of it is extended beyond today, so you got time to process a little bit. Only problem is you junked up on coffee. You full of turkey, cranberry sauce, macaroni and cheese, corn, you name it, you've been eating it. Sweet potatoes, all right? Probably had turkey, ham, roast. You've been eating too much. I know you have. It's all right. May the Lord bless you and keep you always. Going to say what's up to the fam over in the chat. Mari's Music, good to see you. Glad that you are here and coming in very small. Let's get you large and in charge up in these streets. There we go. Always got to look for that center line. If you OCD people, y'all know. What is going on, Mr. RDCS? Good to see you. Said, I'm going from the Canon 90D to the Canon R6 Mark II. Do you suggest another Canon camera? Yes, it's called the Sony A60. No, I'm just okay. So the Canon 90D, if you're trading it in and you're going to the Canon R6 Mark II, the biggest thing is going to be lenses. Honestly, I think that's a fair camera. I don't think it's a bad camera at all. It's a fair camera, but you're looking at like lenses. You can stay with the DSLR lenses and the like, but you're probably going to want to switch it up a little bit when it comes to some of the lens options. They tend to be a little bit faster and a little bit better. Let me put this in the Canon R6 Mark II, and we'll pull that up and I'll come back around to you, promise. Alrighty. What's up, Mr. Camera Junkie? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. What is going on? Matthew Pates and FX30. First one I received had a bad monitor. I remember you said you messaged me on Instagram, so I do recall saying replacement came November 4th to do extended warranty or not. That is the question. Well, I would say, number one, register your camera. And if you're buying it brand new, you already have the warranty for the manufacturer's warranty. Depending on what all that entails, you probably want to get in touch with them, but just make sure, like, that's just pro tip for everybody. The warranty that you get with your regular camera when you're buying it new, it's worth having. Sometimes, and so this is how companies make a little bit of money on the side, because they know you forget your warranty. Like, they know you don't know that you have it or can use it for this X, Y, and Z thing. Thankfully, your issue, I remember again, like you were telling me about it, that it happened right after you got your FX30, just a faulty screen issue or what have you. So I understand. But here's the pro tip real quick. Whatever that time frame is for the manufacturer's warranty, you can reach out to their support team. They'll get back to you via email. It's probably the easiest. Register that camera with the number, receipt, you got it, since all that stuff is fresh in your memory. Same for everybody else here when you're buying big purchases today. Then What you need to do if you use something like a Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, something that's going to multi-sync, it's not set just only for one specific device or another, then go ahead and put in whatever the date is, like a week or a month, the month of, but still note in there the specific date. My FX30 warranty ends on XYZ date. So if something is awry, then you can make sure that you have that put aside. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for everything. I do the same thing for my purchases as well. So when sometimes like the B&H ones are not bad or Amazon ones, but sometimes it may or may not cover which one. So that's when you really got to read the fine print on what camera, what lens, whatever, and hashtag all the things. So again, pro tip, if you are just buying big purchases today, cameras, microphones, anything that of what you usually would need, lenses, stuff like that, make sure you're putting that manufacturer's warranty stuff in today, because you're going to forget. You're full on turkey. I know you are. You're up to your eyelids in cranberry sauce, okay? You just overate yesterday. I know you did. But but make sure you put in the month of when the warranty is going to end. Put it in now for whatever that date is in the future. In your Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, something like that, that even after you switch phones and you sign back into your Gmail and stuff, it will auto sync. So also put it in for the day of. So if you are having any issues and what all that entails, take a picture of it, save it, and then that way when that day comes, you know. I do this all the time and I'm like, Dad, I forgot all about that. They expect you to. But when you put that stuff in, that's how you're able to get that stuff fixed. But I always do the manufacturer's warranty. Coming back around to Mr. RCDS, if you guys have questions, make sure you put that in the chat. We'll be coming around to any of your gear questions if you're not sure on certain things, or if you're looking for a certain item, and let's go ahead and dive into that today. So we're switching from the 90D to the Canon R6 Mark II and asking for said suggestiones. Well, when we go over here to Amazon, we can see that, like, again, I'm not a fan of these everything kits. It's a great way to get ripped off. So none of those things usually, for the most part, are worth buying. But if this camera is coming in at $24.99, the only thing I would say for sure, it's going to make sure that you got the lenses that go with that camera to get the max out of it. And then the other thing is to make sure that any of these updated cables, this is where you kind of forget and then the sales pass you by, the updated battery. Make sure you have the updated battery for this. This is using like the LP whatever, something or another brand or label for their specific model. Make sure you go in and get that. So whatever this updated battery is, they changed it from what it used to be with the DSLRs. Get the updated battery today. More than likely, you can find some of those at a good price today. So do that. Number two, my suggestions outside of whatever your lens options, if you trade that stuff in, you might get good trade-in value today. And then the other thing is like the ports on here, whatever goes with the camera, usually it's just is worth updating your ports and stuff on your camera when it comes to purchases and stuff like that. Cables is worth the upgrade. So if you use micro HDMI, the camera's still using like a micro or a mini, update your cables. All that stuff's going to be on sale today. If two is one is none. So if you have one more, even though it's not bad or something's wrong with it or I don't mess with it, guess what? Cables still go bad. They fray. And people, I see this all the time in the eCam community. My eCam, it's like, when's the last time you switched that cable? I had this cable since 1973 when no, switch your cables out today. Okay. Best gift you can give yourself as a creator, brand new cables today. Shoot. So that's my suggestion. Sand filled to the gills. I didn't overeat yesterday. I did great yesterday. I did not overeat, but I ate just enough. What is up, Fixed Point? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Saying, yep, and I bought home four more to go. Louise, the question is, in this instance, though, did you take your own plasticware? Did you bring your own Gladware containers? For those of you not in the U.S., that's like a real brand. It's not like I'm making up a name for a Tupperware company or something. I probably should get stock in it. They use a part of my name. Okay, I need my cut. But are you taking their plates? It's like, Auntie, let me get one of your plates. I'll bring it back, and then you bring that same, you bring it back. It just is next year. So what's the real answer here, Luis? Are you taking their plates or are you bringing your own? That's the real question. What is up, Todd? Christmas Clatter. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Greetings about New Zealand. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. And I finally got you live. Indeed, my good sir. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Saying the itis is in full effect. Let me tell y'all something. If you are not aware, if you are a loved one, this is how all the infomercials start out, especially now. If you are a loved one has suffered from the itis, that is essentially, you ate so much. And then all of the Instagram photos yesterday, all of the IG stories, wasn't nothing but everybody passed out in the living room. Grandma put everybody to sleep with that wonderful, delicious side of greens that she makes. Who knows what she puts in them? We don't know. We nobody's checked grandma's cabinets in who knows how long, but she always have everything. She always have everything. The it is the itis. It's full effect. Big thanks from New Zealand for your tips. I am glad to be of service. Glad to be of service. Question coming in from Bad Cold. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying, should I get a Tamron 11-20 or the Sigma 18-50 for the Sony ZV-E10 for vlogging? 1,000%. You're not going to like it, what I'm going to say here, but the 10-18 f4 shown by Sony is honestly what's worth looking at over that. You know why? Because I don't care what anybody's YouTube video says. The Tamron 11-20 millimeter lens is great, and it's a great vlogging lens. It is not a great vlogging lens on the Sony ZV-E10 because subjecting yourself to either have to do catalyst browse, which is, for those of you that don't know, you take your SD card, you put that in the camera, you're recording, no stabilization is on, you're going to do it in post. This is the Sony Catalyst Browse program. It's a amazing program, one of my favorites. That this workflow doesn't work for massive vlogging, in my opinion. Now you take that SD card, put that in your computer, and you got to use Sony Catalyst Browse on each individual file. You can upgrade to be able to do multiple files at once, but that comes at a cost. That's fine if it's an investment. If that's what you want to do, great. Then the Tamron 11-20 is going to be my vote, because the 18-50 is not it. Both of these, neither one of these lenses have stabilization in them. That's the problem. Neither one of these lenses have stabilization. They're fantastic lenses, but 18 is not going to cut it. And that extra 50 millimeters, it's great. It really is, but not for vlogging. Try that with a old school kit lens, 18-55 that Sony used to have or something like that back in the day. It's great, just not for that. So let's go on over to the, let's cut this music down for a smidge. I'm ready to play my Christmas music. I don't know about y'all. I've been celebrating Christmas all year long. So Tamron, past the stupid deals. The Tamron 11-20 f2, yeah, it's a great lens, fantastic lens, but it doesn't have stabilization. It does not have stabilization. So because of this, like I said, that Catalyst Browse workflow is going to be what you're subjecting yourself to, because active stabilization ain't it in the ZV-E10. Is it in FX30? All day long. Any other camera? Probably true as well. Not in the ZV-E10. They cut my buddy down at the knees on that camera. When you look at the Sony, not Sony, but it's for Sony E-mount, the Sigma 18-50 right here. It's on sale. This is a great price, and this is a great lens otherwise, thought for vlogging. Like I said, with either one of these, you're gonna have to use Sony Catalyst Browse or active stabilization in some respects, but I wouldn't recommend either one of these for vlogging on the ZV-10. Like, honestly, the only lens you can really use is the kit lens or the Sony 10-18 f4, which has optical steady shot. Now you add that plus standard stabilization, then you're cool, because you can't do standard stabilization with a third-party lens that doesn't have stabilization, and none of them have it. So you got to have the combination optical steady shot in the lens. That's only going to be a Sony lens, because no third parties have that. And then standard stabilization when it comes to the ZV-E10. Or you're using a third-party lens. My recommendation between the two you asked, Tamron 11-20, because you're going to need that extra bit of reach. The 18 is not going to cut it. You're going to be in somewhere in the 24, 28, 32 millimeter ballpark by the time you get through adding all this stuff on. You're looking at a third-party lens and with no stabilization, And then you're looking at Sony Catalyst browse or active stabilization. Either way, you're taking a hit on the amount that's in focus. So like, just imagine real quick, this is what you would be looking at. And then you turn on active and now you like this close, which is really personal and way too close in my opinion. That's what you're kind of a cut you're looking at. It's severe when you go into active stabilization. Is it worth it? No. Active stabilization is not, it's just not great. Do you have it as an option? Yes, but I'm saying from experience. When I went out of town and I accidentally, I just wanted to do a simple little pan and just stabilize it out a bit, I accidentally left active on. So those next several clips on the vlog had active stabilization. Guess what they look like? Complete hot garbage. Complete and total hot garbage. I'm just saying, like, just holding it, hold the camera, and just little simple stuff like that. Just little simple swoosh. Hot garbage in the bag. Hot garbage in the bag with the juice at the bottom. That's what it was looking like. So my recommendation, 10 to 11, Tamron 11 to 20 millimeter f2.8. Great lens otherwise. If you need to use it for vlogging, you're looking at a Catalyst browse. If you accept that challenge, that's my recommendation. 18 is way too close to begin with for vlogging. Hope that helps. Communication coach Alexander Lyon. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying I went from the 90D to the R6 last year. I use an adapter for my lenses. Isn't that a little heavy? Like, not the adapter, it's not that, but it's like just when you start adding it on, don't you, for you, my personal question, wouldn't you consider that heavy? I'm all for lightness when it comes to, or as light as possible when it comes to certain gear. Again, that's just me. Okay, maybe everybody doesn't have chicken arms like I do, you know, but it is what it is. So I always buy the extended warranty on all my electronics. Deshaun Parker, good to see you, but do you use them? Do you use them? That's the question. And is it overlapping the manufacturer's warranty in some respects? Sometimes it'll give you a little bit of extra something different, but it's my question. Saying I had to flip some internal R6 switches to make some of the lenses work. That's my only thing. Like, the R6 lens lineups are great. They're really excellent lenses. The only concern I have with those is that they can, like, I really want them to make a change. Like, they main one need to set a New Year's resolution right now is Canon. Let these third-party brands make lenses for R6 users. Like, I think that's such a slap in the face. You can't tell me spending that much money on a camera is okay, and then it's like, oh, you only gonna have to buy our lenses. Yeah, your lenses are always gonna be best. The manufacturer's lenses that couple with a specific brand usually always will be best. But that's not right. I just don't think, in my opinion. I don't think it's right. But saying note paper plates and aluminum, the traditional. Saying Mr. Camera Junkie is an empty Cool Whip cracker. Country Crock. Okay, for those of you that don't know what Country Crock and Cool Whip, if you're not in the U.S., those are the everything containers. Once the butter container. All right, let me school y'all on a little bit of little inside here, okay? If you have of the darker hue complexion, in our homes, the butter, the Cool Whip, hell, sometimes the ice cream container, if it's good, sturdy plastic, can survive the microwave plastic, it's a container. It becomes a Tupperware container, okay? It is a Tupperware container. So Country Crock is a butter container, and Cool Whip obviously is, I think everybody knows Cool Whip, but Country Crock, it's a butter container. It's not a butter container every other time during the holidays. You know what it is? It's a spaghetti leftovers container. It's the sweet potatoes leftover container. It's the mashed potatoes or potato salad container. That's what that is. So, look, Camera Junkie confirms. Camera Junkie confirms. And by the way, what lens are you using right now, and how close are you sitting to the lens? I always use for my live streaming setups and this has been the case since about the live stream setups for sure since summer 2019. It's always been, probably always will be for right now, the Sony a6400, and I'm using the Sony 35 millimeter f1.8 lens. This lens right here, absolute favorite. How close am I? About 3.5 feet. Like, I could scoot the desk back, but like just to get some additional distance between it. But anybody's, like I say, if you all have watched the vlog channel, seen any of the videos where I've talked about this setup, it's been the same. I rarely change things that work unless it has to be like a severe upgrade. But Sony 35 f1.0, yeah, f1.8, not O, lens, my absolute favorite lens ever. Like nothing that I've tried other than like in this range has worked for me. And in fact, speaking of said lens, it's on sale right now. So usually this runs for about $400, but you can get this lens. This is the lens I'm talking about that I'm shooting on that you're looking at right now. If you use just your game, 264 is as low as you can go right here, but 373, which it doesn't always go at that 470 something all the time, but it is quite a bit of a discount here. So 373 on the lens I'm using right now. It is a prime lens. It's not a zoom lens. So when you saw me zoom in just a bit ago, that's using the Sony remote right here. And so that's using clear image zoom. That's how that works. Clear image zoom. Wonderful feature we have here on the Sony cameras. Well. You know what? Hold on. Pause for the calls, y'all. We're going to put a stop to the music. We have K-Walk Comedy in the building. And we also have her here for the Friday Live Helpcast. In lieu of this, I have a surprise just for you, K-Walk Comedy. It's only for you. And I just want you to just savor this moment real quick. This is just for you, okay? I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad to see you. Principal Walker in the building. I'm so... If you don't know what that wonderful tune is that you're listening to right now, that is our wonderful show tune for the Wheel of Wonder game that we play here whenever we're doing giveaways. And we'll be hearing that coming to a theater near you not too long from now for said book release. So I'm going to be doing some giveaways and some stuff. So more coming to a theater near you, but Principal Walker, that's just for you. Good to see you. Saying I wanted to get Sony cameras, but the price, I got a Panasonic instead. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, it's good to see you. Glad that you're here. Jeb, Josh. So, okay, question of the day. What did you get? This question of the day. What did you buy? If you bought one, what did you get? I think everybody knows how I feel about Panasonic. Love to hate them. Love them, but hate them in some respects for what they do, which is freaking pulsing, just constant, just juking all the time. So I don't know, sometimes all right, I ain't gonna say nothing. Congratulations on your new purchase. About New Zealand asset, I watched your Final Cut Pro vertical tutorial yesterday and created a duplicate as from my normal video. Sadly, all titles were all over the place for me on vertical. Any suggestions for some things when it comes to that, which specifically you're referring to, for those of you that don't know, that video on using the crop and reframe, essentially, that they have in there, the Smart Conform tool in Final Cut Pro. For some of those things, I only will sometimes export or capture the section that I actually want instead of the full timeline, because you still are going to have to do some micro adjustments. So what I personally will do, knowing that I only want certain part, is I'll use the in and out tool. If you check that other Final Cut Pro tutorial on my channel, I talk about some of my favorite keyboard shortcuts that I use whenever I'm doing any kind of editing. And the in and out tool, which will be to start it at a certain point, would be the, you can start it at the letter I, obviously for in or and out, or you can just use your mouse and select it in your folder that you select all your stuff from, like in the top left viewing thing or whatever when you select the file. So you can go in and out, or you can just like highlight that range or whatever if I know I just want that specific section. Now, once you're down on the timeline, let's say you're already working with a finished edit, which I think this example applies to you more, what I will do is just select still only the bit that I want. I'm not going to use the Smart Conform because you're still going to have to make adjustments for it. What I'll do is I'll only select all of what I want. Titles, effects, all that stuff. Make the, like we still do everything in 4K, so we still do a variation of a 4K export, even for vertical videos. and that's to deal with compression. The files are also 4K, but let's say it's just the reverse is 1080 by 1920. If you're doing 1080p footage, make the reverse, make your 9 by 16, so it's vertical, then paste in all your stuff. Is it still going to be stretched out and just like filling just a small amount? Yes. But anytime that I can create something to be more efficient in my workflow, I'm looking to create something that's going to build on efficiencies. In my company, I'm huge on systems and efficiency. So what I've done is instead of creating and using like the smart conform, I'll just make, what do you call it? A preset in Final Cut. So when you go over to your effects panel, one side is transitions and then your other side is for your effects panel. I have one called DG like presets or DG custom. And that's all the stuff that I know that I'm doing all the time. So if you know that turning your regular videos into micro content in Final Cut Pro is what you're used to doing, once you make adjustments, let's say I'm always sitting over here instead of where I just was, and I know I need to make it so I look like I'm sitting right here. Whatever that move is, or whatever that is on the x-axis, we're getting real technical for all of you that don't know what we're talking about, so just pause for the calls. We'll get back into you in a second. But let me help my brother out for a second. If I know I'm constantly making it, it's always such and such, on the x-axis, do that. You're stretching it from that regular horizontal video to vertical, do that. Now, in the bottom of your inspector window in Final Cut Pro, could I show you this? Yes. Am I going to? No, because I don't feel like opening up Final Cut right now. Where it says, save preset, save your stuff, and screw the whole smart conform to begin with. That's what I do. I don't use the smart conform as much anymore because they haven't enhanced it to the point of where like it's doing some of the stuff we see Adobe instituting in Adobe, or even like DaVinci adding in stuff. Apple's real slow about that with Final Cut. So I make my own presets and I share these with my editors and stuff on the team as well, so that we all can do the same things and enhance efficiencies. Save your own preset. If you know you always sitting in the same spot doing the same thing, your audio levels, we have one for the podcast. There's a podcast preset effect. So if I'm always doing that, if I'm using, let's say, the Cine 1 or Cine 2, whatever it is on this camera, because it doesn't have some of the other profiles or whatever. If I know we're always using S-Log 2 in certain respects or whatever in this controlled environment space, make your own preset. Make your own preset. You don't have to export, import, none of that. So when it comes to the podcast, those of you that are part of the membership community, we do that Monday through Friday. I don't have to constantly increase volume here, add this on. No, I save it as a preset. So sometimes just slowing down the speed up a little bit just to look at what you do in a week and then create systems around that can really help you be more efficient as in editing. But save your own presets. Screw that smart conform, because that's just going to take the whole timeline. Unless you turn in the whole thing vertical, don't use it. Just use what you actually need to. I'm saying no good autofocus with the Canon. Now, when you buy the wrong stuff, and I'm saying wrong, it's not. It may be right for you. For some people, Panasonic's right. I'm not saying that, so don't take me wrong here. But when you make certain sacrifices, that sacrifice is going to have to consistently be made, especially when it comes to video. It's something that you constantly are doing and redoing. So it's not like Panasonic cameras are bad or nothing. It's just like they make amazing cameras. But I want to be able to do this. Like if I was with the ZV-10 or something, I want to be able to do this. All right. Just be like, yeah. And then I can show you hitting here, zooming in. Like I want to know that this is in focus. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to know that this is in focus. And then I do like this, and then we zoom back out, and then we're back on me, back to our regularly scheduled program. I don't want Panasonic to be looking like, oh, is that John Coltrane back there in the portrait? Oh, what lens do you have? Like Panasonic is nosy. That's why they always focus on the background. Somebody knows he made that algorithm. That was the problem. Most people don't know this, but I'm just kidding. It's not true. But that's what it feels like. As somebody knows he made that program. That's why it's like that. Why else are you focusing on the background? It's just not worth it in my opinion. So is it initially an expense. Yeah, because you don't know if it's like really going to pay off. But that's why I really only rock with like Canon, Panasonic, not Panasonic. What am I saying? Canon and Sony. When it comes to recommendations, it's still like, if you want it and you love it and you like it, go for the gold. But I just don't think some things are worth like you repeating all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't. It just is hell. And I'm coming from like somebody that owned like 5 Panasonic cameras and stuff. Like, I love Panasonic, but the autofocus, they just won't fix it. They refuse. Question. Oh, wait, let me go back real quick. Alexander saying, very heavy, but I never move my camera. Smart man. Because some of y'all be carrying those 60-pound bags of things. And I'm just like, why? You know, it's like that stuff be heavy. Like when I'm going out of town, I got some trips coming in March of 2023. If you are in the Atlanta area, I might be doing a small little coffee shop meetup or something at a hotel or whatever. I'm doing Women of Video Live. It's in Atlanta, Georgia. So meet me. I'll be there. But guess what we're not doing? Carrying 50-pound bags. Carrying 50-pound bags is what we're not doing out here in these digital streets. Let me grab my batteries. Just went out in my mouse, which I probably should update this today. Why don't we look for a mouse? Here we go. Always have your accessories at the ready. 2 is 1, 1 is none. All right, so next question. Saying, are you critiquing YouTube channels today? I could use some advice on repurposing content and have frequency questions. Frequency is going to do nothing but, honestly, in some respects, increase. That's where we're kind of at with content right now and content creation. We probably, like by Monday, I know for a fact, I reviewed, and this is just for my business, not for clients or some other stuff. I reviewed and went through 70 pieces of micro content. Have you seen those pieces yet? Nope, not yet. But that's on top of the 100-something plus. We probably got like thousands at this point of micro content. Not over exaggerating. Content creation and content production is going to do nothing but increase because the subsequent statistics around and all the data, I don't care what platform, what demographic, it is doing nothing but increasing. Nothing but increasing. I don't care what your viewership is or who your viewership is, what demographic or generation that they tend to fall in, is doing nothing but increasing. So because of that, we're as content producers are going to have to do nothing but increase. That does not mean going to a point where you are just nauseatingly stuck like at a desk making content. That's not what this is about. And that's honestly why, even more so, I have no problem plugging my own course, buildingateam.live. Go to buildingateam.live if you want to get that course. But it's getting to a point you can't do it all by yourself. If you do, may the Lord bless you and keep you always. But at some point, you got to buy back your time. Buy back your time. So am I doing channel critiques and stuff? How about this? Why don't you tell me what you actually need help with, Mars Music? Because usually people here's how this usually goes. People want channel reviews. I'm not against that at all. And I'm pulling your channel up right now. However, the concern becomes, what do you actually need help with? What do you actually need help with on your channel? So let's just go deeper and do that and actually help you with what you need help with, instead of just me seeing what I can point out from a third party perspective. Why don't you just tell me in the chat what you actually need help with? And then when I look at your channel, we can look at it from that perspective. I think that'll be way more valuable to yours and everybody else's time, instead of me just looking like, oh, this thumbnail could be better. Oh, the title could be better. Yeah, that's great. But those are topical changes that you can make already. What are you actually having frustrations around with your YouTube channel? And then let's go from there. How about that? All right. We'll give a little extra time to that. Let's go through down here. Saying that's true. I never pay for warranties because I never truly break my stuff. It's not about you breaking your stuff. I don't break my stuff neither, but things tend to go awry. Just like our brother was talking about in the chat, how sometimes it was just the screen. My Rodecaster Pro, I haven't abused this Rodecaster Pro, the second one, and I had an RMA for it to return it and stuff. I just forgot. I got busy. So I have to get that sent in. But, you know, the thing with, here's the thing why I think warranties are just important right now is because, like, not to get onto a warranty binge or something, but I just think like we're using our stuff at a rate that before most people weren't. Maybe you did a live stream once per week. Now you're doing shows, interviews, hanging out with your friends or whatever, all online. Your team meetings aren't in person at the office or whatever anymore. Maybe you picked up a remote job or position or something like that. Maybe you weren't editing your content stuff and now you are getting more serious into what you're doing. So you're producing a hell of a lot more content. Everything of what we're doing is just more, which means these devices are on longer. They're being used more. You're going to more events. Everything is just in the season of more right now. So stuff is going to go bad. And it's just kind of like finding yourself in the season of that's where we're at. You know, it's something happening there. So that's what I would say. That's why we need warranties. And oops, looks like the stream is about cameras. No. This is just Q&A. We don't. If we had a dedicated topic, it would be in the title of the live stream. This is Q&A. Ask whatever questions that you have. Don't feel subjected to like, oh, she's not talking about something. No, ask your question and then we can talk about it. So I'm just doing Q&A today. All right. Saying, I guess I should have clarified. The B&H has Sony or All-State warranties and coverage, and the coverage drops spills they're like, yeah. Then in that case with B&H, yes, get it. It's like, and then to past your purchase, I think you have, which again, it depends. Beyond your warranty, your manufacturer's warranty date, you can still get that. With B&H, they give you about 30 days, 15 to 30 days or something like that for you to throw on that warranty. In addition to the extra spills, drops and stuff like that is worth it. My original Canon M50 didn't break because I was like using it terribly bad or something. It broke because it fell off of a table courtesy of the Joby GorillaPod legs just getting weak and one of them broke. It has nothing to do with anything at that point. It just broke. Shoot. Super chat coming in from Mars Music. I have regular shows that air Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on YouTube. I cut the Wednesday show up into 8 small videos. Should I post them all on Friday or space them out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Okay, micro content and stuff on YouTube is changing. Just to go into that, let's go over here to the channel. Let me cut this music down a smidge. I don't know how loud that is for y'all, but it's not for me. All right, so let's cut this down a smidge. All right, let's move you in here. We're gonna get you about yonder. I think, matter of fact, I think I can zoom this out some more, and then we can do this here. I think that's what that is. All right, there we go. All right, so this is your channel. Let's see, what is the production rate looking like? So you're demonstrating certain things. All right, so shorts are segmented out now on the channel. All right, so I would look into what this video is doing, this micro piece that you have is doing, because when you look at, like, you can find trends across your own content. That's the thing to really look for. What trends? And you can also see if you're exhausting your people or if you're not. So if you do some testing or any form of like an A/B testing, I'm gonna try it 1 week where we post it a lot, and I'm gonna try one where we don't post it a ton. But you need to do something that you can test for 60 to 90 days. So if you're actually trying to test something, test it for 60 to 90 days so you actually have a good segmented amount of time that you can look into that. So if you said, like, pull your comment back up real quick, that you're posting stuff, you had a regular show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on YouTube, and you're cutting that Wednesday show up into 8 smaller videos. If it's 16 by 9, like something like here, I mean, you get some views or something on there as seen on VT. I would say start looking for, instead of just like, yeah, sometimes more is not always best, but you got to find the trends into what your people are digesting, what they like. Let's go to here. What are your popular videos? And let's look and see what more recently is popped. All right, so we got some videos from several years ago. 3 years ago. Okay, so most of these that popped initially were from a long time ago, which is not bad. So we got this one from 4 months ago. Factory tour. 45 minutes. I'm just thinking, I'm processing real quick. Okay, so most of the popular videos on your channel are from a while ago. That's okay. The only thing is that if it's going to be regular YouTube videos, like, you got to ask yourself, like, what do they want? Why now? What do they want? Why now? That way you can kind of find a groove for it. Yeah. So we're getting about the same amount of views on live stuff as we are for regular stuff. Covers. I would say number one, like the guitar is the star of the show at this point. In this type of content, the guitar itself is the star of the show. My opinion would be put it on display a bit more like you have here, but like they all look the same. And that's not to be disrespectful to any guitar folks, but they all look the same. What can you do to get these to stand out a bit more? Because sometimes the frustration that you run into when it comes to thumbnails is not something that's like inherently bad, but it's something that is like this one. Yeah, it's like the front of it looks a little different, but these all look the same. They all look the same. What can you do to really show that this is a different guitar, so that number one, it's not confusing the audience that they saw the video already, or like, again, they probably are going to look at the title and stuff like that to an extent, but I would say look at what can you do to make them stand out a little bit more as far as the thumbnails or something like that. Number one, so it's not a confusion of, is this the same guitar? Did I already see this same video? That's the one thing that I would say. The thumbnails are so similar, I cannot tell one from another. I honestly would even go as far as to test with some of this stuff, if for a certain model of a guitar, like if this one, let me just go here. If this video and this guitar and stuff if these were the same, if they were, what theme for that specific guitar for thumbnail purposes could I suggest, so that I can say this month we're covering nothing but the DSS 17, the Whiskey Sunset model. And so that way, number one, I've educated my community on what we're doing and what they can expect to see. So if they see more of these Whiskey 3 prison number letter combination here, if they see more of that they know that they already didn't see that video. That would be my suggestion around that, because that would be the first thing that I'm concerned about. They just look similar. Some of these where you're getting a little bit more traction, I would look into not just repurposing the whole bit, but what didn't they see? Especially now you can see on videos where on YouTube, like, especially on desktop, this is easiest to see on desktop. If this is the bottom of the video down here, the play bar, in that 58-minute whatever something, one chunk of that video somewhere is going to be one that does better than another part, for example. So you can't always get this to pop up, but somewhere in this video, people are more attracted to one part versus another. So if that's the case, and let's say about here, just for example's sake, let's say everybody's attracted to that one bit. That's where everybody's interest is. We don't know that for sure yet, but let's say if it's somewhere in this ballpark of the video, why are they attracted to that one part? These are analytics and stuff that you will be able to see when you sign in. So if you know you're covering or have covered a specific guitar, and the part that most people are searching for is that bit, I would take that repurposed show and just kind of try to focus in on what can I accentuate about that. Maybe showing that bit again with a different twist. You can do even some, like TubeBuddy's the only one currently that you can do A/B thumbnail testing for. which they have a deal on right now if you want to grab that. But you can find those trends in your, like, nobody's going to know your people better than you right now. So what are they interested in? Are they interested in certain song licks? So what's trending? I would probably do like a compound situation here. You got interest in the guitar, and what's an interesting, I don't know, country song or something that's going on right now? Can I combine those two and do something like that? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're repurposing the show, let's try to maximize the viewing possibilities with that as much as possible. And then when it comes to the thumbnails, what can we do to not make these all look exactly the same? Because just in a sea of videos, they all look the same. So if I see it in my thing, you're forcing the viewer to have to do something that's against their normal social behavior. When any of us go to YouTube, when we go to the home page on YouTube, it's always going to do certain things. So for example, let's go over here to YouTube. Our eyes are always going to get caught on thumbnail first. Then we're going to look at the title. Then we're going to see, do I find anything that's of interest to me, or do I want to keep scrolling? The make art now thing pops just because it looks different. So either I'm going to look at some of the stuff I've been looking at for publishing and book publishing and stuff like that with ClickFunnels and some of that stuff with the content, or I'm going to go to something I'm interested in. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna look at the thumbnail first, my normal social behavior, look at the thumbnail, look at the title, then I'm gonna look at the time to see if it's something I want to watch. So if you know, out of that 58-minute video that you had, people are only looking at the 2-minute to 3-minute part, take that chunk. Maybe we don't repurpose that show. Maybe we're only doing not the whole show, but the parts that really matter. So you got to find the trends and what people are interested in, why they're looking at what they're looking at and why. And it's like, okay, now how can I keep and garner their interest around this thing? So that's what I would suggest for that. It's not always like just post, and then hope something happens. You have the data that will tell you what people are looking at, what they're interested in and why, or what's attracting them to the channel or not for certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know your people better than anybody else. So I would say play on some of those things. You're a guitarist, from what I can understand, a very skilled guitarist. So what can you do? What can you do? As seen on Virtual Tour, I don't know what that is, just looking back at the channel. But yeah, if people are interested in a specific thing, which I get some of that is probably going to be for the website, but you get 1,600 searches per month for your specific thing. So Mari's music video, I don't know what that is, but if people are looking for a certain stuff, they're looking for a certain thing. So I would probably say, for what you're doing live, educate your community on what they can expect. Start seeding and leading for other things. So if you're in the middle of one series and you're like, this week we're covering nothing but the Martin OM42, and next week you're gonna we're taking a whole new spin on it. This guitar is warmer. This is a guitar that's blah blah blah. Like, you got to do better internal promotional stuff. And if you know most of your people in a video, everybody will be able to see your own analytics. If you know most of your audience leaves at 2 minutes 49 seconds, most videos people leave at 2 minutes 49 seconds. Don't tell them to wait till the end later in the video. I'm good, because they're not even getting there. They're not even getting there. So the wait until the end stuff, probably ditch. Put it at the beginning somewhere. Start looking at how can I better keep their attention to get them there longer. So when it comes to short form content, the name of the game is not just post and show up only, but let's try to be a bit educated with how we're posting and what things make sense. Maybe take certain parts of the show that you know was interesting, reframe it. If you have the B-roll for it, or you've got the clips, maybe it's doing an audio. I'm planning kind of in the background. When it comes to the micro content, making a show that's nothing but micro content. You cannot find a full version of that. It's only in the shorts. It's only going to be in shorts. You can only see it in a short vertical form. So it's not a show that's going to be available anywhere else on the channel. So it, you know what I'm saying, it redirects that attention, but you got to find those trends. That'd be my suggestion, is going a little bit deeper into The question that you had, let me try to catch up in the chat. But as you all know, it probably never happens. So that would be my thoughts. Hopefully that helps bring some clarity to what you are doing. K-Walk Comedy, so glad that you're here. It's wonderful to see you. Alrighty. Saying the poor people's Tupperware. We're not poor. We are energy efficient and recycling. We was recycling before recycling was a thing. We weren't throwing that good plastic away. K-Walk Comedy saying, hello, so since it's Black Friday, will you be switching back to Canon? No. I wasn't waiting to switch to Canon. I have no intentions of switching back to Canon. So good to see you, Caleb. Glad that you're here. I have no intentions of switching back to Canon. Will I pick up some cameras to test and make content around? Sure. Do I have any intentions of making Canon my main squeeze? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are faithful out here in these Sony streets to an extent when it comes to the content. That's about it. But no, it's I don't want to go back to Canon. They don't have anything that then again, if you have Canon, you like Canon, you love them, Merry Christmas. But they don't have anything that I want to go back to. There's nothing I don't think that they even could produce to make me say, dang, I really wish I had them full time. Like I don't. I just don't. My personal thing. Like lightness is growing in importance. I tend to grab the lightest camera bodies and lenses every time I go out. And you know what? I experienced that as well. I just did not enjoy carrying, like traveling changes your whole mindset about what you carry and how you use. That's why specifically in last October, when we made that trip to Albany, New York to do People of Video 2021, I'm like, I'm not carrying this whole, unless I need to do something, then sure. Like you all saw, I took that trip to Spokane, Washington. I need to carry a bunch of stuff, and you saw how exhausted I was. That was not for dramatical effect. That was the real, I'm tripping over my bags. I'm so tired of carrying all this crap. Okay, and thank you, Tammy, for helping me get it to the room initially. Shoot, it's too much stuff. I don't want to carry all this stuff. I took one camera, one lens. One camera, one lens. I took the ZV-E10 and the 10-18. Thought about bringing the ZV-1. I'm like, no, because anything that I would probably use the ZV-1 for in certain scenarios, I was using my phone. And that's how that worked. And most of the trips that I've been taking recently has been the ZV-E10 and the 10-18 and my phone. Unless I'm testing something like I did the A7C when Sony sent that to me and I had the 70-200 and we had the A7 IV, unless I'm specifically testing something, then I'll bring some extra stuff. But even then, it's like I have a day that I'm dedicating to maybe using that, and that is about as good as it gets. Beyond that, light is where it's at. Good to see you. Images by Gretchen. Glad that you're here. Send happy jolly days to all. Indeed. Merry Christmas. Send, oh no, not the Wheel of Wonder. You'll love it. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna put you up first at the next Wheel of Wonder. You're gonna love it, okay? I said, hi Diana, how do I film vertically with the ZV-E10? All my vertical videos come out horizontal in editing software. I can't seem to find a solution when it comes, or find a solution to it. You do this, I'm not joking, and then I do this. That is it. If you follow the settings video that I set up for whether it's the ZV-1 or the ZV-E10, I'm holding the ZV-1 right now. I'm not joking when I say like that video is what I would tell anyone, like make sure, I get it, it's long, speed it up 2x or whatever, but go through, optimize the camera for video. So when you are recording, you don't have any issues. So it should already be on just straight out of the box. That's all I do. I promise you I'm not doing anything special. The settings that are in that video to optimize my camera for video, that's what I do. And I'm like this, and then I do this. The screen changes. Matter of fact, yeah, same thing here. Same thing when I do ZV-1. See, like this? That's it. I'm not doing nothing special. When I'm recording like this, it's like this. Turn it, that's it. If something in your settings is off as to why you don't see the stuff or change orientation, it's more than likely just a settings change maybe, but default out of the camera, it should already be like that. So you shouldn't have that problem, but I promise you I'm not doing anything secretive or whatever. Saying I got the GH5 Mark II. Congratulations on your purchase, Jeb, Josh. I mean, no, just kidding. I mean, I'm moving past it. Y'all not getting me caught up. Be snipping stuff. I say, well, Diana ain't said nothing. Yeah, I said I've had to replace a couple electronics with extended warranty. Some extended warranties will take effect and override the manufacturer's warranties from day of purchase, total replacement costs. That is very true, Deshaun Parker. So it is a great investment. That's why I said it. Talking B&H, sometimes with Amazon, you know what I'm saying? But when I'm doing major camera purchases, I do like to go through B&H, Adorama, KEH.com, like legit camera stores, because they know typically the things that run out or go awry on a camera more than others. You know what I'm saying? Like they have that unique experience. Amazon is also selling freaking bath towels. Would you like an extended warranty for $2.99? No, I don't want it for a freaking bath towel. You know what's going to happen when you need to replace the towel? You buy another towel. I'm not sending the towel in for warranty or something. You know what I'm saying? So, like, as long as it makes sense. Like I said, if it's B&H, you're good. Go for it. Had I done that with when I originally had my M50, I probably would have stayed with them a little bit longer, but all things happen for a reason. So, what's your take on Panasonic cameras, though? Yes, posting is there. Official statement from the offices of DianaGladney.com say that Panasonic makes great cameras. Panasonic has something that is special and unique as to why most filmmakers, indie filmmakers, mostly, if they have an affinity for Panasonic, they tend to stay with them. It is not, however, a brand that I would recommend for content creating entrepreneurs, who is mostly of who I talk to with my content. You don't have an interest in becoming a filmmaker. You're not trying to become a photographer. Are there people that overlap from those industries and spaces? For sure. We are all one family over here in these digital streets. However, that's why it's like with the video simplified branding, that's who I'm talking to. The entrepreneur that is sitting down to record a video like I am today, and I'm doing this live stream. Let's say I had some massive promotion and I said everything I've ever made is on sale for $1 today. And you can go to such and such website.com, right? If that was the case, then what if the only thing that was in focus was my finger and then John Coltrane in the back? That's annoying. That's annoying. If I sit down to record content like this past week, I did 7 videos. I did 7 videos that I recorded. If in the course of making those 7 videos, what is my editor going to say when he's like, Dan, all of these videos was out of focus. Do you want me to edit them? I can, but they're all out of focus. What do you want me to do? How much time do I want to recommit to re-recording? Not much. Not much. When I sit down to record, the only things that I want to re-record are the things that, in a sense, like do another take for while I'm sitting there, is making sure that I set it in a way that I know my audience is going to understand. Or I could have simplified it, and I'm looking to be more concise. It's the only things that I want to re-record for. Panasonic cameras, in the sense of people will say also, let's deal with all the objections. People will also say for Panasonic that, well, you're just doing talking head videos. You just do manual focus. You could. I'm not going to pay any amount of money for a camera that cannot focus. It's one thing if I want to switch to manual focus, but I shouldn't have to be reliant on if the camera can focus or not. Just like I said earlier, I have no interest in switching to Canon, but I also have no issue at this point, for the most part, outside of the issues they cut off the third-party lens manufacturers. I don't have no problem recommending a Canon camera to someone that's meeting the requirements of what I say, that list of non-negotiables that every creator should have of what do you need in a camera. The number one thing, reliable autofocus. You know why? Most people are sitting, some of y'all use teleprompters, some of you, and I mean like you're reading, you're like, today on the Digital Street Show, we're going to be like, some of y'all read on teleprompters. How many times you want to do a retake? Not because you actually messed up, but because your camera was focusing on John Coltrane in the back. Being nosy. I'm not about that life. They got unlimited recording. Amazing user interface. The app is amazing that you get with Panasonic. The lens options that you get for Micro Four Thirds or any of their full frame lenses with the L mount Alliance and stuff like that, those are great. Autofocus doesn't meet that list of non-negotiables. And that's the thing, it's non-negotiable. Like I'm not giving any wiggle room from that. Fuji, another amazing brand. Amazing brand. I love what Fuji does. You remember from last week? I love this, another sign of aging. I love what Fuji does. Do they have absolute reliable autofocus? They're getting there, but it's kind of one of those things, unless you want it, then you get it, but I'm not going to recommend it. And I know some of y'all, and I've seen in the comments, whether they're here or not, could be watching this in the replay. Either way, thanks for being here, but I'm not going to recommend a camera to where somebody's going to sit down, Diana, in an email. Now we got a support email. I can't believe I spent $1,700 on a camera and it was focused on John Coltrane the whole time. No, not doing it. So that's my official DianaGladney.com statement on said Panasonic cameras. They cannot focus. They will not get my recommendation. That's my opinion. This is my opinion. Saying thank you so much. Got it. All right, cool. Do you still have plans to create proxy? I forgot about it. I'm not even gonna hold you. I in English. All right, so look, I'll tell y'all. I've been writing this book and I got revisions back from my editor. What was that? Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? So I got the revisions back from my editor extremely early. She quoted me at like 10 days at the maximum. So I'm expecting like somewhere at least a week or something. No. So she got them edits back to me. I promise you, I ain't thought anything about making videos unless I didn't even add it to the list of ones. So I'm gonna write it down right now. Okay. Final Cut Pro and put it on a clean sheet. Final Cut Pro. Cause who forgot? I did. Proxy workflow. Video. Make. Got it. Will do. I just forgot about it. I promise you. And then we start going through the editing process. So I'm trying to get this book out. That's my number one priority right now. I'm trying to get this book out as best as humanly possible with efficiencies and stuff like that. So I promise you, I forgot. Forgive me. I apologize. Question. Saying your Final Cut Pro editing workflow for your audio, do you use both the limiter and compression, or do you favor one for your audio? So I have 3 different presets when it comes to my Final Cut Pro editing workflow. That is that it depends on what user interface that I'm using. I've been testing the Vocaster 2. I just switched it out for the Rodecaster Pro, I think like last week or something. But I've been testing that for like 6 or 7 weeks straight. So that video is going to be coming. But so with that one, it's different because I'm looking for certain things. Like right now I have my fan on, even though I have the heat on just to kind of like circulate it or whatever. So I'm comfortable. But so I don't want any of that noise. So I have my Rodecaster Pro #1 set to a certain thing. With certain stuff set in. So at the loudest this room, the noise floor we get in the room, then I have that stuff set for that on the Rodecaster. So even when we take it into editing, if I was doing a video here, or we take a piece of video from here and we decide to turn that into something, then great. The preset for that, for the Final Cut Pro, is a Rodecaster 1 set for this. So we do it for per microphone, and if it's in the office, like certain ones, but we mostly use the one I set for the Rodecaster. The settings video for my Rodecaster Pro, even though it's a version 1, hasn't really changed. It's pretty much the same. So I don't, as far as the limiter and stuff, I don't go that deep with it because the microphone is already rejecting background noise. #2, we have the presets and stuff for the Rodecaster Pro and the Rodecaster Pro 2 that's already doing certain things. I don't need to really add that much to my voice. You know what I'm saying? At best, we may have like a 20 or 30% voice isolation in Final Cut Pro that gets added on, and it just depends. And then it's a different, slightly different one for the lapels, just like as far as tweaks and stuff. I'm gonna try to, I really keep a really simple workflow when it comes to the what I'm doing for the audio. So we used to use, I'm trying to remember, we used to use, I think, something with the compressor. I think one of them, we might use it for the Vocaster preset that I created. But yeah, I try to keep audio as natural as possible and stuff like that, because the Rodecaster, even with the Vocaster, it won't have some of the stuff to take out the noise reduction. So that's like the voice isolator is a little bit higher, but I don't try to do a ton with my audio, honestly. Saying Perfect Diana, thanks for the help. You're very welcome. Saying FX30, the 15mm f1.4 is super light. I picked up the Brevity backpack and it was nothing, and it was like nothing in it. The Brevity backpacks, I have been so conflicted on those bags. And I think I found the one that I want, not with them though, because I'm like, I think they're great. Not, and it's not critiquing your bag, it's just my thoughts on it. I think they're great, but at the same time, I'm also like, I don't know, man. They seem great. I want to test it, but the FX30, 15, yeah, those trio of APS-C lenses that they had are amazing. Super stickers coming in from is it Jeb or JEB, or is it just Jeb Josh? Let me know so I can say your name or channel name right. Pair character doing the shaka sign with his hand saying cool. You're very welcome. Okay, answered that super chat already. Thank you again. Saying, hey, my bag is about 30 cents. Camera bodies, 2 to 3 lenses, depending on how far grid I'm going. A bag of batteries and accessory, water bottles, rain jacket, all Canon, all the time. It's a workout. May the Lord bless you and keep you always, because I am not about that heavy backpack full of gear out here in these streets. I did, the 2 bags that I like, the Ecamm bag that they sent me, that one's been really great. And then I love the, what do you call it? It's the Amazon Basics camera backpack is actually really cool. It's not, but that at that point, it's nothing but a laptop and all camera gear and stuff. That's like, if I know it's not really any personal stuff I'm planning on doing, it's literally all camera stuff, then I just use that. And that's been working really well for the last 2 years and stuff. And that bag gets at like a 40, I'm pushing like 40 something pounds at that point, because I'm barely making it. And then what's funny is I'm short. Okay, I don't have a problem saying that out loud, allegedly. Height deficient. So I'm on the airplane and I'm just struggling. And it's always some nice, jolly man that's right. But ma'am, do you need help? Yes. I'm going to say yes 37 times out of 37. Yes, please get that bag for me, because it's heavy as hell. And they'd be like, oh, ma'am, do you need some help? Sure do. Yep, sure do. You can grab that bag for me. And they're like, ooh. I'm like, yeah. Heavy, ain't it? So I just finished. I just had my Sony AX700 replaced because it got tilted over on the tripod, called the extended warranty from the store I purchased from, and walked out with a new one. That's wonderful. I'm glad they helped you with that. That's great. Saying hello, greetings from Spain. Great content on your channel. Why, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So how would you pronounce your channel name? Salmojo? Is that right? Or is it something else? Please help me pronounce your name a little bit better. Saying smaller vids as in short in time, not smaller as in 16:9. Well, again, just how can you package your videos, just to go back to your question from earlier, how can you package them in a way that still would be attention grabbing or getting or something? Sometimes it may be as simple as adding something in the beginning. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're adding some kind of a buffer in the beginning instead of just like a raw clip out. If I just took a raw clip out of the live stream and pasted it, would some people watch it? Probably. But sometimes if you repackage that video as if it's a brand new video, even though you're sourcing part of it for someplace else, is that same, and I know I did a tutorial on it on the channel. Same thing with repackaging certain live stream content. If I was doing something, let's say I did the channel review section, I'm going to add a buffer in the intro and the outro or something to repackage that whole video. And it can still be the same 2.5 minutes maybe, but I'm just adding that extra 15 seconds on. If you ever wondered why, let's say some videos do better than why other ones don't, I actually went through this in a live training or in a live stream on one of the Friday Live Helpcasts. Say that part better. Then it's like, we actually talked about this when I did a quick channel review. Let's dive in, because I think if you have a channel where you're doing music videos or you're doing any kind of music content, this will be helpful for you. Cut over to that specific section. We show that clip. then the ending half is usually recommending something else. So sometimes it may just be in the repackaging. It's like if you like the DSS-17 guitar, then you'll absolutely love. Most people don't even know this guitar exists. Or so I may title that video different, like the copycat to the popular, I don't know, something that Santana used, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Like this guitar looks exactly like the one Santana used when he was over at such and such. And, it just might be a slightly repackaging. Look at your analytics. The analytics will always tell the story of really what's going on for the most part. It's not about becoming like an analytics nerd or whatever. But just look and see what you can see. Just look and see what you can see. Warranty and pro services have saved me repeatedly. Wildlife, nature, extreme weather. I feel like we're going to see you on the Discovery Science channel. Discovery Science, Discovery History, something of the like. Let me know. Sorry, Diana, trying to send a super sticker to you, but having technical issues with my accounts. Bummer. Thank you for your help. You're very welcome, Ricardo. I appreciate you just for being here. Glad to see you. What's going on? Sammy Super Chat in the building. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. So you're afraid to get a dummy battery for your Sony a7S III. Is there a brand you recommend? Scared to have a problem, which could be an expensive one. I 100% understand how frustratingly annoying that can be. Number one option is to not go the dummy battery route. Instead, invest into a good battery bank that you can use, just like a battery pack, and just use the USB-C and run your camera off that. We actually did that with the A7C when Doc and I was in Washington. We just had like this really big battery bank and we just ran it there. Because sometimes, and again, it just depends. Like I would not mind using the brand that I already talk about, which I'm going to show you in a second. But I wouldn't mind using the RiceUp brand that I have shared and talked about. But at the same time, if you don't want to, the camera has internal charging and stuff. Just start with a fresh battery, or like even with this one, we did this option too. Dummy battery into the battery bank. Dummy battery into the battery bank. So, I mean, this, like I said, I don't mind using this setup. Let me find it real quick. But Sony still does not make anything for that Z battery. That's the problem. They don't make anything for the Z battery. And so, unfortunately, you are stuck with crap options to choose from online that you don't necessarily feel comfortable with. The one that I don't mind using, because Sony doesn't have one, and what they do have looks like a science fair project somewhere. Let me find it. I have a lot of videos over here on Amazon, so give me a second to find it, and I will come back around to that, I promise. But it's by like the RiceUp brand, or however the hell you pronounce it. But I used that with my A6600, and that was a pretty pricey camera. That was like, you're talking about, I think a camera comes in around about $1,200 or something. So yeah, it's like you don't want to have a $20, $30 supposedly investment. Now you don't have your camera, it shorts it out. I had that issue with trying a random brand on Amazon, didn't vet them, just saw that it was the size, and I'm like, okay, I'll just grab this. And it wound up being the worst nightmare ever. And I had to send my camera in for repair. Why can I not find it? The RiceUp thing. But just give me a second to scroll through here. I'll find it. But I'll show you what I'm talking about too. But that RiceUp brand, that's the one I use for the ZV-1, my A6400s and stuff. Because Sony makes an AC adapter, I do use that one that they make. But Sony doesn't make one, and I cannot for the life of me understand why. This is the brand. Finally found them. Goodness mercy. So the company RiceUp, I don't even know if that's the race. It could be RiceUp, but RiceUp, whatever. So over here, Sony. I wonder if they have it for power delivery to USB-C. It might be. So these are some of the other ones, but we do need it for Sony though. So this is the one for the FW50s. It's not what we need. This is the one here. This is what I have. And this is what I use. This FZ100 ones. And I'll throw a link to this in the chat. This is the one that I have used. I cannot say for anybody that's like, well, I tried it. Look, I'm telling you what I put my money where my mouth is. I could go grab it out the thing behind me if you want to see it. But this is the one that I've used, the FZ100 one, and I've had, until I have recently sold it, I was using this regularly for the A6600. But this is the one that I use by RISUP. Unfortunately, it's no discount or whatever on this today, but that's what I recommend from the third parties. When I need to get something from a third party, that's the one that I use. So I'll put that in the chat. As you can see here, that link will take you over to the RISUP brand for the FC100s. That's what I use and have been using for some years. It's done me well, and I've never had an issue with it, thankfully. So I hope that helps. All right, cool. Saying, hello, beautiful people. May the Lord bless you and keep you always this fine white chocolate day. What you almost do a good job. You almost JFK Productions. And then you come out here with this dark chocolate business. Whether you're new here, well, you'd have to be new here to not know. Or maybe you've been around and you just haven't been on the live stream before. This is a white chocolate company. All right, milk chocolate people, you're okay in my book. This is the dark chocolate lovers that bring me pause. Okay, dark chocolate is disgusting. It is not on the buffet in heaven. It is horrible. Ugh. Got a bad taste in my mouth right now just thinking about it. Ugh. Good to see you, JFK Productions. Glad you're here. Saying I do use TubeBuddy. Thanks. Cool. Yeah, A/B tester. Check out the A/B tester by TubeBuddy. Dennis Curry. Is it Curry? Let me know how to pronounce your name correctly, Dennis. Good to see you. Glad you're here. What do you think about the live stream at 60 frames per second instead of 30 frames per second? If you want that hyper realistic look, it's fine. I think for some things, it does better. With some things, like if you're a gamer or whatever, if I was gaming, let's say I had a gaming channel or I was doing it for fun, I would do probably 30 or 60 frames per second. One, it would just bring everything into alignment for what most of these systems and tools are kind of optimized around. Will it take the 24 and stuff? Yeah. Excuse me. But I would probably just do 60. It'd be fine. If you're into Amazon streaming or something like that, then that 30/60 is great. It's just if you want that hyper realistic look, I just don't. And 30 and 60 tends to be a little bit too sharp. It's like I had acne issues. We don't need 4K, 6K, 1000K resolution all up in my face, so it's a personal preference, but I think it's fine. Some people hate 30 and 60. You use what you like. So I don't have anything around it. Saying streaming 25 frames per second and no plans of going higher. My man Caleb. It's the same out here in the streets. I would have to be doing something else. I tried 30. It's cool, but JFK, you just love to start fights. Love to start saying, what's the Canon? Still suffering from Canon Trump. So much so I grab an Insta360 link over the image. Well, I hope that you enjoy it. Thanks for advice. Have a great day, all. Very welcome, Mari's Music. Have an awesome day. Saying Insta360 is great. Wonderful. April K Productions. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Hello, I'm currently using the ZV-E10 as your main camera, and I'm looking to purchase a second Sony for overhead shots. I'm thinking of purchasing another ZV-E10 or A6400. What would be your recommendation? Anytime it's the issue between or comparison between an A6400 or a ZV-E10, unless you're doing something that you really would enjoy, that hybrid body design of the A6400, like you are doing photos, sometimes you want to hit record to do some stuff, then the A6400. But at this point, there's really nothing else left to really suggest the A6400 over the ZV-E10. The ZV-E10 is cheaper. You still get all the same internals, plus some. As an overhead camera, honestly, for like certain things, like also look into what lens type situation you're going to be using. Even for some of those things, like the ZV-1 is a cool camera as well, but I would always go ZV-E10. Not because I have it, not because I like it, use it. It just makes sense price-wise, systems that can be built around it. Cool thing between ZV-E10 and why I would probably take that over anything else right now, for that, you have the product showcase mode. So there are occasions where if you're doing something, like let's say right now I had some kind of top-down shot. the more I want to take it up or something like that, I wouldn't just use manual focus or whatever, or just general autofocus. I would put it in product showcase mode, so it's focusing on whatever element is closest to. Case in point, if I'm saying, oh, take a look at the whatever, the closest element is this. I don't want it focusing here. Product showcase mode, little stuff like that. It's not until you're using your camera that you notice that and you start thinking and wondering, oh, how could I do that? The A6400, the issues that you would find in that scenario, not that it's a bad camera, not that you couldn't use it, but it's just the micro inefficiencies, they tend to add up over time. My recommendation would be CVE10. It's cheaper, it's better, more efficient, battery lasts better. On there, it's a lot of reasons on why it's actually better. So that would be my go-to in that situation, April. Hopefully that helps. Saying better get you some good glass with Panasonic, or glasses with Panasonic. Panasonic just needs prayer. That's what it needs right now. It just needs prayer. I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, the loyal fan base they have, may the Lord bless them and keep all. Panasonic's a great brand. I just think they could do better. So I use my A6400 for everything: photography, filmmaking, social media. It's a great camera. I'm using it right now. But is it better when it comes to the primary focus being video than the ZV-10? No. The other cool thing is, on the day April needs to switch her stuff out, and she needs to take that camera down to use it for something else, she's not running into, one, it is a slight difference in the coloration between the A6400 and the ZV-10. You have faster autofocus, you have eye autofocus in video. There's a lot of other things of why you would want that camera. Here's the funny thing about this. On my bookshelves, when I'm doing certain B-roll or certain things, it's just stuff you see from being behind the camera actually making content, is that, like, it's a book that was by T.D. Jakes or something. I think it was called Soar. And then it was a program that, what's his name? Anthony Robbins has. It's on my bookshelf. Okay, both of those have their face, big, broad, straight to the front. Eye autofocus picked up the eye on the photo. And I said, I'd be daggone. I'd be daggone. Or I'm showing certain things on my phone. One time I was showing a clip from a vlog with my buddy Jared and his wife Jessie. Okay, YouTube channel Jared and Jessie. And I was just showing like that like part of the B-roll. I was watching their vlog, and it picked up eye autofocus on both of them. It's little things like that it's not that the A6400 wouldn't be great. I've been in almost complete darkness, with the exception of just the monitor, still picks up the face. So A6400, not bad at all. It's just, as for the cheaper price, you get more of the ZV-E10. It just is better. There's no ways around it. It just is better. And we love John Coltrane. Salute to John Coltrane. He's the man. He is the man. So I'll grab an A6000 quicker than my A6600, specifically because it's significantly lighter. That's going to be the question with the new upgrade to the A6600 whenever it comes on a day. It depends on how heavy that camera is. I think it's still going to be, I don't know, man. I hope the only delay that we're seeing between why there hasn't been an A6600 upgrade, which who knows how long we're going to have to wait since the FX30 came out. We need a solid APS-C hybrid camera that's an A6600 upgrade. Only thing is, I think we're probably going to be getting into probably like an A7 body design. That's just my thinking, unless they do something different and just keep using the same body design. But I think, I hope we move into like something legit, a real good EVF, real good screen that isn't some bridge gap stop between the tilty flippies and the flip out, like a legit make this camera look amazing from scratch design. But I think we more so are probably going to find something. I hope like the A7C would be cool if we had something like that, but altered for the hybrid use. I don't know. A6600 is a great camera. It's just, So now you may want to hire someone to make custom audio preset. I'm telling you, if you all pay attention to what you do throughout the week, what you will find is that you can create a lot of efficiencies and systems around what you do that just saves you time. And I had to create a bunch of stuff for myself personally dealing with this stage 4 endometriosis. That meant when I worked a full-time job, that when I got home, I'm already tired. I'm already exhausted. I'm probably already in a lot of pain. And I have a small limited amount of time in a limited window of how long before I can, you know what I'm saying? Like how long before I'm like, I need to stop. So I'm like, what do I keep doing all the time? I keep having to adjust this. I keep having to do this. Is there a way that I can make that more efficient? The Loop Deck Live, let me see if that's on sale today. I don't have a ton of things that I'm even recommending buying today because most of us have stuff. You just kind of like, or yeah, it's on sale like I thought. Okay, cool. Loop Deck Live. This thing right here, not this one, Loop Deck Creative Tool, that's amazing. But just this one right here for $229. Amazing. Elgato, nice to see you. We're cutting you off the screen. I'm talking about the Loop Deck right now. But this right here, this thing have saved me so much time you would not even believe. I'm not joking. It's not just because like, but I'm serious. It saved me so much time. If you don't have something like this Elgato Stream Deck, I know it's cheaper. It looks great. But I'm telling you, this right here, it saves you so much time. The fact that you can take those custom presets and stuff and just hit a button, you're good to go. You're good to go. A lot of things that I used to just mouse click and I'm like, well, what's the benefit of me switching from that? Like right now, I'm turning the music down with a dial. I can turn it all the way up just with a dial on the thing. So that's helpful. When I'm doing the chorus, like I said, I talked about that stuff before. Segue real quick. Ecamm Live that I'm using right now that you all love and stuff like that. Everybody asks, well, what are you using for the live? This Ecamm Live. All day, every day. On sale right now, 40% off if you want to get an annual plan. Go to diana.link/ecamm and you can get this discount for 40% off. My coupon code for getting 2 months for free is not going to wait for you until this annual plan goes away. You need the code CYBER22 if you use this. But 40% off, you can get Ecamm Live. Other thing, let's use a combination of the Loop Deck Live and this. Guess what? Now you see the screen. I hit one button. I'm able to do all things. Here, switch back and forth. Go to the screen share. Go to the Just Me. That's a button press. My mouse is right here. Not having to do anything. Me with the screen. One button. Turn the music up. Little knob. Bring it down. Go back to the Just Me. All of this with Ecamm and the combination of that and the Loop Deck Live, you are one dangerous mamma jamma. Reason why I'm telling you all to get this, if you plan on making a course, asterisk, and I'm gonna come back to that in a second. If you plan on doing more content in a stationary setup, doesn't have to be a live stream setup, but you're using those elements, Ecamm Live, Loop Deck Live. If you plan on doing more interviews, I'm going to be doing a tour, a virtual podcast tour and stuff for the book release. I'm probably going to be like on 100 different podcasts and shows. Like you'll see me a lot everywhere. Ecamm Live and all of that. I'm telling y'all, if you did not see this latest beta release, we have ISO video or isolated video, which means if me and Mr. Camera Junkie were on the camera together, I get his camera feed separate and you have isolated audio. You got a ton of stuff that just hit this past week. I'm telling you, get freaking Ecamm Live. If you are in the membership community, we will talk about this later on tonight, but I'm telling y'all, get freaking Ecamm Live. I'm not playing. Get it. If you don't have a Mac, I don't care. If you plan to get one in the next 1 or 2 years, get the freaking 40% off today and just get Ecamm Live and hold on to it. It ain't gonna go nowhere. If you don't have a Mac right now and you know you want to get one, the Mac Minis are $600. I know that's a lot of money. I'm not pretending like it's not. I'm gonna go to how much this is today. Let's see if there's even any discounts on Mac Mini M1s. Just for Ecamm, I have friends, colleagues, I have freaking clients. Just get Ecamm Live and use it for your stuff because it's way more efficient. The M1 Mac Minis, still can get them for the same price right now or whatever. Maybe you can find one at a discount someplace if you bought it used, I guess. I don't know. buy Ecamm Live. If you plan to get it in the next 1 year or something and switch to Mac for some stuff, get freaking Ecamm Live. I'm telling y'all right now, this system, I'm not joking, saved me so much time and money. It's 40% off right now. Go to diana.link/ecamm. I'm going to put it in the chat. I want to hear no more complaints for the remainder of the year. diana.link/ecamm. Don't try to use my coupon code for getting the 2 months for free with Ecamm Live, because it's not gonna wait for you with this coupon code. Use Cyber22 in order to get it. It's worth your money and your investment. I'm telling you, if you have a team, you're going to want to get this. I'm going to put this on the screen, and we're going to keep this up for the remainder of the stream. If you all have questions, I'm telling you, let's do this. I was going to share this later. Give me a little bit of your time, just a little bit. Let me bring you behind the scenes here. This is what I do Monday through Friday, whether I'm doing a client call, whether I'm doing a training or something, like if I'm doing videos with my team, all of that, I use Ecamm. The reason why I'm able to do that is because I'm able to build systems around what I'm doing. If I want to switch to a different countdown timer, I already have that stuff here. If I want to go into preview mode and queue this up so I can get ready to go to the bathroom or something, then I can do that and then hit publish. Or I can say, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I need to find and bring this up for later. So normally you would not see the other stuff. But because I said I want to bring in the Ecamm Live coupon thing and put this up here, then I can do this. This is all in real time. You're just seeing the behind the scenes of what you otherwise would see. Okay? If I was only in live mode, you would now see it, publish it, take it off of, so you can't see it. Now we're good. You see that 40% off. All I did was take a screenshot, add it real quick. So like the behind the scenes stuff of what is possible, how much time you can save yourself. If you are doing any kind of coaching, teaching, or training, every time I need to create something or I'm getting ready to build something, I go over here and I build it into Ecamm Live. Exactly what I'm doing. Show assets folder, all the stuff I'm doing. If I'm doing an Amazon Live, if I'm doing the video Simplified Community stuff, if I'm doing the building a team course video, and let me unmute there. Let's say I'm doing something. I already have this here. I'm ready to go. So I'm telling you all, it's worth the time and investment. I promise you. It just is. Go to diana.link/ecamm. Get that coupon. I'm telling y'all, you got big plans for 2023. Ecamm Live is going to be your go-to. Just saying. I can even take this real time, statically put it on the screen, but I'm gonna go back to questions in just a second. So if y'all have questions, make sure you drop them in the chat. I'm going rapid fire. Hashtag it's never really rapid fire with me. But we're gonna try, gosh darn it. We are going to try. Let's see here. Let's do the background. Take that up a smidge. And we're going to do add. And I can put that right yonder. Boom. Publish. Beautiful thing with Ecamm Live. I'm telling y'all, if you got plans to do some stuff, Ecamm Live is going to be your go-to. It just is. Let's see what we got here. What is the link to remote Zoom lens recommended Zoom to capture Bible while the Sigma 54 text is small, maybe Zoom? The remote Zoom device. What are you talking about, Patrick? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Recommended for the Sony lenses. If you're talking about this remote that I used, this is not for the ZVE10. This is with the A6400. The one that you would want is a different one. Let me go over here. Give me 2.32 seconds of a millisecond. And let me just, 1 second. Let me grab that. Turn the music up. Let y'all vibe to that. this is the remote that you would want. I should have got my heating pad to turn that back on. The ZVE10 does not have the infrared on it. And that's the problem with why this A6400 one wouldn't work, is because it has to have that infrared thing on there. So you still can do it for the ZV1, ZVE10. It just, you have to use Bluetooth, which is what this is. Put this stuff down. So it comes into this little stand here. You can zoom in for effect. I can stop dropping stuff. All right, see this? Right yonder. This is, it has it where it's magnetic and it'll come off, but it'll also re-snap. So it's a stand. You can use it for vlogging and all that, the tilt screen or tilt thing, whatever. So, but what happens here, so we take this, that's the zoom rocker that you would use. So if we zoom back out, since we can stop being all super personal, what you would do, take this off, this becomes the remote. So you still, it would come with the stand or whatever. I'll put the link to the Ulanzi kajigger in the thing, but this is the remote that you would be using. You would not be using this other one that I'm doing. Yoink. So you can still do the recording. You still have your C1 button and stuff like that. You can have all of that, and you have the zoom rocker, but it's via Bluetooth. It will not be through the infrared. So you need to have the Bluetooth on the camera, and you can get the remotes and stuff separate, but it just is, I find it a little helpful just to get the little vlogging stick thing with it. That is by Ulanzi. So let me pull that up in just a second, but move on to another question in the meantime. Saying thanks, Diane. Oh, you forgot the A. You didn't call me Diane. Now we got a problem, Caleb. I thought we were good people. I thought we were friends, Caleb. These batteries ain't no good neither. I do need to get a, not a Bluetooth remote, but what not a Bluetooth one, but a USB-C one. My other one went bad, so I just never replaced it, but today would be a good day to replace it. If anybody has a mouse recommendation, I seen that MX whatever keys one. I don't know. It seems weird. Here we go. All right. Just coming in to say hi. Thanks, Dan. It's glad to get to see you, David. Glad that you are here. So let's see here. This is the Ulanzi M something or another. Can't remember. It's like an MT40, I think it is. Wireless Bluetooth extendable yeah. So this is the Shindiggy I was talking about here. This one right here. So Ulanzi makes a couple different ones, but this is the one. It's $3 off. It's no deal, guys. I hate these fake Black Friday deals. They're like, usually it's this price. It's not usually $60. I'm just be honest with you. It's not usually $60. It's usually just $50. So you're getting $3 off today. Let's not let the smooth taste fool you. So this is the thing. You can just get other Bluetooth stuff, like just the remotes or whatever, if you want to, but this is what you get. I just think it's cool to have both if you need one, because on the days when you want to sit down at your desk and just extend the tripod up or something like that, you can. It is better on the smaller cameras like the ZV-10. If you put the Sigma 16 on here, it's going to slowly start to slide down. But just get a Bluetooth remote for the Sony cameras. I like this one because it's like the dual purpose or whatever. But that's my recommendation for that. But yeah, unfortunately, you can't use the infrareds or whatever. I'll put a link to this, and then I'll find another one that you can probably use for Bluetooth. That's just the remote. Those usually are like 20, 30 bucks. So this is your link. Just posted it in the chat for you. Alrighty. Let's go through the comments wherever I stopped somewhere. Would be even more thankful if we had, oh, David, you missed it earlier. We did play the Wheel of Wonder music. Okay. So here's the thing. For those of you that are here on the chat, in the chat and on the live stream, or watch this on the replay later, I'm giving some stuff away in addition to the launch of my book. So we will have occasion to play said Wheel of Wonder game on this channel. If you're new here and you've never played the Wheel of Wonder game, I will give you a small taste of what that is like. It's bad. if you didn't think people stole, if you don't think people were dishonest, this game brings it all out. I'm telling you, when I go this one, let's just watch. Just watch. I'm going to play the Wheel of Wonder. This is how it rolls. You hear this music. That's the first sign. I will pick a number between something like 1 and 10. I'll say, put a number in the chat. I'll put like start. So everything between the start and the end. And I'm like, okay, you got 30 seconds to put it in the chat. We'll put a timer up on the screen and all that. And let's say I'm giving away one of these, right? Let's say this is the prize, all right? Shipped direct to you from wherever, right? That's the game. And I say, let's say I'm picking up a number between 1 and 10. And somebody puts in the number 7 or whatever. Everybody, let's say that's the winning number. We go over to the Wheel of Wonder. This was the last one that was like who was going to win something or whatever. I can put the names or put the things in there. And then boobs, tattoos, and a motorcycle, who was part of the run-up for the last time we played. I can say you won or whatever. That's the game. The problem is K-Walk comedy has been just abused and just for shame has felt so bad because she doesn't win on that game. It's like she'll get a runner-up. I've thrown her into this. Just the wheel decides. I don't decide. The wheel will decide. So I'm going to be giving away quite a few things. I'm going to be giving away a year Ecamm Live. I'm going to be giving away a few surprise bonuses I'm not going to mention. I'm going to be giving away, obviously, a few signed copies of my book and some other things I'm not going to mention. So we're going to be playing the Wheel of Wonder, coming to a theater near you at the release of the book. I'll do a live stream around that. And we will get occasion to play the Wheel of Wonder because it has been quite some time. What's up, Adams Exploits? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Saying I spent a whole $20 for Black Friday. B&H had a closeout deal on 2-axis gimbal selfie stick by Zion. Was it the one that they had for like their smartphones or whatever? Excuse me. I know Zion has like the cranes and all those different ones. So they're pretty cool. B&H, by the way, these are some of the deals that they currently have in the deal zone. The Pelican case is good. This thing needs it's a good microphone. It needs a lot of background noise remover. I'm going to get that program Luis talked about. So yeah, the DJI something or other, you probably find some different ones, but see what other savings and stuff they have. It's all right. It's all right. It depends. Like, you got to know what you want to get today, and you'll have time for everybody. Caleb saying, just started diving into audio podcasting, been exporting the audio from Final Cut Pro to optimize my time, debating if I should do a deep dive into GarageBand or Logic X. Any thoughts? I think Final Cut Pro is probably a bit more powerful than you may assume, and you have to go into some of these real audio nerds, for lack of a better phrase or term, with people that know the tweaks and stuff. But it really doesn't take much, at least, to get Final Cut to where it is. Now, Logic is different. When you are dealing with a program that is specifically unique and built for it, sure, but you really aren't going to find anything in GarageBand that you're not going to find in Final Cut for the most part. But I would say do what you can while you're recording to optimize things as much as possible. You can find Rodecaster 1s, not the Rodecaster Mark 2s, but the Mark 1 for like, people are selling these modes for like $150, $200. Having another one over there, or having that Vocaster 2 to use with my shotgun mic that I have, the longer one, not these, the actual like longer ones for audio dialogue and stuff. When you couple that with some of the presets and stuff in those, you're talking about a fantastic setup. Is it a bit much? Yeah, but it's like you save yourself so much time on the back end. We really don't have to do very little audio sweetening and stuff like that. Nothing that probably couldn't be pulled out with Auphonic on the back end. So I think if Logic has something that you really want and need, get it. You can't go wrong with getting something like, if it's completely simplifies the setup for you in a way that Final Cut may not. Like, here's logic for those of you that don't know what we're talking about. This program here, there are certain things in here Final Cut ain't gonna have. But if you only are doing a little bit, you probably can get by without it. But that's what I would say. If logic is what you need, go for the gold. I don't think it's anything else with that. But yeah, if logic is what you need because it can do some things, go for the gold. If you have a, I think if you're an educator, or if you are like have a student email, so let's say you work at a university or maybe you're enrolled someplace, you can get a discount on all of those Apple products and programs like that. It's like a student discount. I don't know if they actually check for if you're a student or not, but let me see here. Apple, I know they include a couple different things. Motion, Final Cut Pro. I'm not sure if Logic is included with that, but Apple Final Cut. No, let's do Apple Student. Try if I find the Final Cut Pro one. But they usually offer discount. Logic Pro, student discount. But it's worth it. They offer their education bundle and stuff if you can grab it. So everything for $199 if you have the student stuff. Like you got the student email or whatever. Some people say you don't even need to have one. But I'm just saying. So you get Logic, you get Final Cut Pro, you get Motion, you get Compressor, you get Main Stage. And that's all for how much that program costs by itself. So if you can buy it, try it. But they may be checking. It says 1 to 3 days for business. I don't know how much of that is legit, but for $199, you can get the whole bundle. If you have that student email, if you have a niece or nephew that's in college, if you have a friend that has a niece or nephew in college, you know somebody. Who do you know that, I mean, make it happen. I'm not going to say what, but you know, make it happen. Maybe you give them a $50 Chick-fil-A coupon or gift card. Maybe you just put $100 gift card in their account or Amazon something. You know, just saying. Just make it worth their while or whatever. But somehow, I think that's a good exchange if you can get it. My real name is made up. Say thanks. Good. This is so funny. My real name isn't all of ours. Everybody's name is made up. Yeah, I guess in some extent, everybody's name is made up. That's so funny. Saying you should try Mexican chocolate. It might convert you. I might. Because I'll always try it. Somebody will say, oh, you should try this one. If it's between white chocolate and dark chocolate, I'm going white chocolate all day long. But if I'm in a scenario and someone says, would you like to try some dark chocolate from our brothers and sisters in Mexico? I will say, I will try it. Not going to have high hopes, but I'm going to try it. Because the Coca-Cola from Mexico or whatever is like real sugar. That one's good. So, saying awesome. Thank you so much. That makes sense. I love your channel in white chocolate. See, April, you belong here, man. You welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home, April. You belong here, April. White chocolate loves it. Gosh dang nabbit. Welcome aboard, April. Shoot, you are free to move about the cabin. Said thanks for the advice. I found you yesterday via live streaming pro channel and found myself binging your ZV10 vids. The pronunciation is Kairui. The I is pronounced with an E. I'm from Kenya. Love that. Thank you so much for telling me how to pronounce your name. For everybody that's new here, I do my best to try to pronounce your name. I don't play that game of, oh, your name is too. That's dumb. That's dumb. I ask, so if you have a name that's different than how I'm pronouncing it, just teach me how to pronounce your name and I will remember. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I love brother from Kenya out in Roadcaster still broke, so you heard a little different effect, but you know the one I was going for. It was the horn. You just gotta send the Roadcaster in. She's a little sick right now. So thank you so much, Kairui. Okay, Kairui. If I can say it better, let me know. But Kairui. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Saying, pray for me, Diana. This dark chocolate got a hold. You just need deliverance. You need deliverance. They need to put some Alka-Seltzer tablets in the baptismal pool, and then you just soak in it. Okay, until it can get that spirit up off of you, brother. You need to be delivered. Delivered from the dark chocolate. Saying you're going to convert me to Loop Deck. The Loop Deck Live, I'm telling y'all, I just don't. I think I showed this last week on the stream. It's a beautiful program. It really, really is. To the point, like if you have plans on just, again, being more efficient as a content creator, it is the program to get. Allow me to demonstrate. Yeah. Here. Okay, we on the desktop, right? I say I'm going to do the live stream today. I'm on this panel here. Let me zoom in so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So I'm on this panel here. It's not just for the stuff that I'm doing. If I switch away from the Ecamm profile and just my regular Mac stuff, all the stuff that I use, like to open Zoom, and then it opens Zoom, and that has its own panel of stuff that I don't use that often, but you can switch it up if you know you do certain trainings, or let's say you're hired for the quarter or for 6 or 7 weeks or something like that to do certain things in Zoom. You're doing a Zoom training with a company. You can customize the Loop Deck Live to say, here's how I bring somebody up. Here's how I mute everybody so you don't have Jason, sit down happening in the background, right? And you're like, hey, can everybody mute? Nope, you got to mute all button. You can customize the images if you want. I do that for my regular. So when I just turn the Mac on, I have the plan a new video shortcut that I created. So it has all the elements that I want to put into a video. I can just hit that button and start making a video. If I want to capture a new video idea while I'm on the computer, I don't have to think, oh, let me pull out my phone or let me go write it down. So if I wanted to say for that proxy Final Cut one that I wrote down, I'm going to go in here and log this in at some point when I get ready to launch Ecamm. Shout out to my brother that made the icon that looks just like me, has dreads, dark skin, glasses, made the icon that looks like me. So when I open up Ecamm, this is the icon that I'm clicking on. I'm not clicking on a traditional ghost man figure. I'm clicking on the one that looked like me. It's a beautiful thing. So I love that. And it's a lot of us. Doc has one, but we customize it. So when I click on Ecamm, I'm clicking on me. I have one for Final Cut Pro. If I'm getting ready to do one for my team, then this will start my day so I can open up and just everything that I need to start working with my team, which will be Asana. It'll be Dropbox. I can assign it to a specific folder, and I can assign it to our Slack channel. So it opens that up. So if I don't need those things, then I can close it. If I just want to use an emoji, I can do that. We're business owners out here in these streets. Guess what? I made an icon. So if I need to upload receipts like I did today, yesterday, you're getting stuff. I'm trying to increase my efficiencies to be better in all respects. So that's just for the regular Mac OS stuff. If I need to upload a video, if I get ready to upload video, that has a specific icon that goes with it. I just made these in Canva. So it's to my brain, it's to my liking. If I'm getting ready to upload a video, so when I'm done recording the videos, I put it there. The other thing I use this for, and I'm gonna get off of this, like I said, with Final Cut, not Illustrator. I don't use Illustrator. Final Cut. What do I want to use for editing? This opens up a set of things. I'm getting ready to do the Entree Chats Daily Morning Show. I record that in Final Cut Pro. I don't record that anyplace else. I record it in Final Cut Pro. Why? Because I have all the presets and stuff set up. I hit this, it starts recording. So when I'm saying like using certain things to make your life easier, I'm not selling y'all a bag of goods. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I used to get, the more I became educated about YouTube, content creation, running a business where you're using content marketing as the vehicle, the more I became frustrated with some channels, some that you don't see content from anymore, they're not producing or whatever, and to each their own. But when they're just pushing something, or it's fine, you get paid to promote something that makes sense. I try to promote stuff that either is of value to the community, it's of value to me and the community, or there's something new like the Loop Deck Live, but I'm like, this is it. I think this is great. There's a lot of money I turn down every year just because I'm not willing to put any old thing. Like, I have to be willing to put my own money behind it. If I wasn't willing to put my own money behind it, I wouldn't be talking about it. So it's got to be worth it. That's me. That's the integrity that we have here in the company at the Video Simplified brand. Beyond that, if it ain't worth it, I'll tell you straight up. And y'all will find that to be true in these live streams. But the Loop Deck Live, I have no qualms about that. Ecamm, no qualms about it. If Mac ain't your go-to, that's fine. Or if you don't like the loop deck, that's fine. Elgato's a good company too. You know, but I'm just saying, I put my money where my mouth is when it comes to certain stuff. And I just ordered the Stream Deck. You messed up. No, I'm just kidding. Stream Deck is dope. Mila, good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying Ecamm needs to come out with PC and stop playing. You just need to convert. You need to start living right. You need to get converted. I need an organ. Somebody help me. Brother Luis, come in with the organ. You need to get converted. Here's the thing. It ain't gonna never happen. I'm telling y'all, it will never happen. There will never be a PC version. Get a Mac and start living the right way. I'm just saying. No, but okay. I used to be a diehard PC person, hated all Mac, iPhone, everything. Now you see just all over the place. iPhoned up. Okay? iPhone, even got the old high school head iPhoned up, Mac'd up. You don't have to do all that. You can still be PC and get you a Mac for the other stuff for where it makes sense. That was my initial intent until I found how, for me personally, it could be more efficient. All I'm saying is just start living right out here in these digital streets and get you a Mac M1 Mac Mini, put it on a Christmas gift. Okay, you want to know how you can ensure that your family gets you what you want instead of just buying some stuff? Let me tell you what I did. This is me from like 4, 5, 6, 7 until I got out the house. Post-it notes. Mama, can I have some post-it notes? Sure, baby, you can have some post. What are you gonna use it for? Everything. List. If it was URL and websites, here you go. I used to have my pen, write down model number, SKU number. There's no questions about what you get, where you get it from. Stores that have it, options. Go here, this. I'm like Funko Land. Shout out to if you know what Funko Land is. I'm like, Daddy, I want this game for my game. I want this one, SKU number, whatever. To the point, one beautiful Christmas, my daddy said, I'm tired of these lists. Let's go to Funko Land. And you just pick out the games. Touchdown. Touch freaking down. Okay, that's how you get what you want. List it. I'm telling y'all. SKU number, website. Okay, I'd be like Dinah.link/gift number 1. Dinah.link/gift number 2. Think it's a game. Dinah.link/gift number 3. Put that Mac Mini on there. You don't have to convert for everything else. Just when you get ready to use it. I have friends that do that. I've converted a lot of people to Mac just for that reason. I'm telling you, Ecamm Live is the way to go. They ain't gonna never do the PC thing, so you got to get converted. You just need to start living right. I'm telling you. Saying thank you for providing lots of educational videos for streamers. You are the best. Well, thank you so much, spotsya.com. Appreciate you. Question, how do you join your community? You go to dinah.link/ I guess I should do a community link. That would be smart, huh? So it's just go to videosimplified.live. But I should do one that I updated as well. Let me type this in. This is my wrist. Take this off for a second. Been trying to save my wrist since I doing all this stuff with this book. But videosimplified.live will get you into the membership community. And that is where you also get access to the podcast. So you just go here, dinah.link. Or not, I keep saying dinah.link. It's videosimplified.live. But I'm just going to change that to... I'm going to make a dinah.link/community so I can remember that in the future. But that's where you go. Entree Chat's Daily Morning Show. There are some of the courses. So like the YouTube Simplified, there's some, like I was writing down yesterday, some things that I want to add to it that will be helpful. But that's why I liked it. Personally, there are some things I don't want to be, it's just my thing. I could be wrong, but I think in this I'm not. There's just some things I don't want to nickel and dime. Like, here's this course, $147. Here's this course, $147. Here's this course, $297. Like, that's fine to an extent if you just want the solo thing. Go for the goal. However, I wanted a place to where, and again, I'm just building this membership community. I'm just building it. It's new. So I'm going to make this now for the dinah.link/community. But I just wanted a place for if it's something that I want to teach, show, even like the behind the scenes stuff of the book. So now dinah.link/community works if you want to use that one as well. So that one should take you over yonder. Let me pull this up real quick. Let me make sure. Video simplified. Sorry guys, getting distracted here, eh? But that should work for you. Dyna.link/community. But yeah, I just wanted a place to where if you don't want to have to buy every little thing, you can. Not saying that you have to, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just cut down some of the stuff. We need to have a conversation like every Friday. We have the Friday community meetups. Sometimes it's a training. Sometimes it's stuff like this where we dive into Q&A. So we got one of our members where she's doing a launch for her community and stuff. Okay, well, she's asking questions about certain things. That's fine. If one person shows up, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the perspective that I wanted when it comes to that. But that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So let's make sure this link works. And I'm gonna update that. And then we'll answer some more questions for this wonderful day after Thanksgiving. Today is actually Native American Heritage Day. So for those of our brothers and sisters that are part of the Native American community, we salute you. Thank you for dealing with all the BS that comes from America. And we are sorry about everything. America sucks in some respects. But, you know, from historically, just need some prayers and some slaps in the face. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. Next question out here in these digital streets. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know it take me forever to get through the chat. Did you see the thing about established titles not being a real thing? What do you mean, Mother Oats, or from where? Let me know. Yeah, let me know. Are you excited about the ISO recording for your workflow and repurposing content with Ecamm? So a secret, even without the isolated video, when I'm doing a podcast, we will have both of us on screen and stuff. And I do use the loop deck to go back and forth between myself and then that person. We're already doing 4K. I'm shooting in 4K most of the time, even if that person isn't, because my stuff is 4K, we're already up to that resolution. When we do like the video simplified clips, like we're posting those clips on the podcast channel, when we do those, my editor can just cut in to that person even when both of us are on screen because we're already at 4K. So we already had like a workaround for it. Now, what that makes possible is a lot of the live switching I'm still probably going to do, but it's really those in-between moments where I wish I had went over to that person in full screen first that I got, that he'll have that, you know, extra file to have the buffer in. So that's one of the things that I think it's going to be fantastic, the isolated video, just because there are scenarios where you want it, or you just want to remove the frame and maybe you switch your branding. We've done that. We went from the channel being called Entree Woman TV, and I'm like, I'm just going to call it my name. And then you'll see like the video simplified brand, because that's what we're all about here, helping simplify the video creation process. And so because of that, I'm like, well, what about those old frames? In 4K, you can cut that stuff out, but now we already have the files. So it's going to make not necessarily our workflow easier, but it will make it a bit more efficient in some of the things that we're doing. But to be continued with that, because I'm not sure, even with probably some stuff I haven't thought about, you know what I'm saying? So that'll be interesting. All right, let me catch up. Saying, what's your go-to platform for your live stream music? I like Upbeat. Upbeat has been my jam for the last 2 years. It's UPPBEAT, or I think it's like dyna.link/Upbeat. But I just redid my subscription with Epidemic Sound. My only problem would be, what is their website? Upbeat.io. That's what it is. Upbeat.io. Everybody doing these different things. All the .coms is pretty much used up in the world. But I use Upbeat for my music. We just switched to using Epidemic to like feed in some stuff like the intro music that uses it. But like, so not this. So over here, this is Upbeat. I just think it's fresh. It's fresh. It has a different perspective to it. They're adding in more stuff. If you are into this kind of stuff, they even are hiring right now. But I just like it. So this is what I've been using, what we've been using in the company for like the last 2 years. Like I say, you can see them starting to partner with different creators and stuff like this right now. But I like it because the one thing that doesn't get talked about on YouTube is even that's why we're focusing really heavily for this next year, natural B-roll. All the B-roll clips that we usually see, like from Storyblocks, we all know it's from Storyblocks. That same black dude with the phone, like this is him, and it's a panning shot of the phone of him at the desk podcasting while he's talking. All of us have used that clip. I'm tired of that. We're recording our own B-roll stuff for that. So I'm like, I asked my editor, I'm like, what do we need B-roll for? And he was like, you usually do this, do that, do this. We have our own list of stuff. So the other thing is, like, it's a bunch of B-roll. I'm going to be recording more. So it's my B-roll instead of like Storyblocks. No shade to Storyblocks. I like them. I just don't like how everybody's stuff looks the same. We're being different out here in these digital streets. So I want my own stuff. That's why you see, if you're doing a panning shot, you see me on screen, not somebody random same-faced man. Shout out to him because he's probably making a lot of money from that. But you know what I'm saying? I want my stuff used. So this next year, we were focusing very heavily on that. When it came to music, I went to Upbeat because I like the way their stuff looks. I like it's fresh. It's different. They're constantly adding in new stuff. And you pay, what does it cost now for them for their things? Not the B-roll essentials thing. What's the pricing on this? Yearly, like it has a free thing, but that's only like 4 or something downloads a month. $5.99 or $5.59, so like $67 a year. Go to dyna.link/upbeat, UPPBEAT. Okay, it's an affiliate link, FYI. But $60 a year, $67 a year, I'll take that for new music that doesn't sound like everything else everybody already on the internet is already using. Why not? I also like artlist.io. They're fresh. I like stuff that sounds like regular music that, like, we use certain tracks over and over and over again just because the branding, I really like it. I think it fits the aesthetic of the brand really well. But I don't want to use the same songs everybody else is using. It's something about that I just don't like. So I do my best when I'm working throughout the week. Like I said, y'all hear me talk a lot about systems and efficiencies. Anytime I'm working, like the same kind of music, the way I develop the vibe for the live stream, I'm like, what do I want this to feel like, be like, whatever? Put a playlist inside of Ecamm so I can constantly add in. Next stream, next week, y'all will see that switch to some Christmas vibes. I like that, so I just like my music to sound like regular music, but not something everybody else is using. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't like it. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I just, yeah. So I like Upbeat, artlist.io. They're great. They have a lot of fresh stuff. There's some couple other companies that's popping up that I think is cool, but that's what I like, Caleb. K-Walk Comedy saying the 10 has the vlog stick remote. Is it the MT10 for you, Lonzy? Because I know that one's the MT40. Thank you, by the way. MT. Let's go over yonder. Is that what you mean? Like by the vlog stick? I'm looking at these just so y'all can see what I'm looking at. I typed in the MT10. I like this thing. I just don't like the design of it. But yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it, K-Walk. Is it the MT10? If you're still here, let me know. Cause I see the 08, whatever. But Ulanzi usually has some stuff. But I don't know. I'll have to look around because I don't see it. Madon said, you got to tell me where it is. K-Walk coming in. All right. Saying go for the Logitech mouse. Sorry, the multi-click options are brilliant. Well, I'll try it. The Logitech, everybody talks about it. I'll give it a go. I will give it a go. Saying what I highly recommend the Logitech. Again, y'all. Okay. Let's look it up. The Logitech, because Doc been talking about it for forever. Miss D, Miss D. Like D, I told you You need to get, so let's take, okay, because I need to get a mouse today. MX Master S. Y'all tell me which one y'all think is the better of the, now again, this gotta work. This is the one everybody talking about. The scrolly willy thing, it's gonna throw me off, man. So you got the 3S, 2S. I don't like that. We're definitely not getting that. I don't like these little chip kajiggers. These, I don't like those. Those suck. Because it takes up a port unnecessarily. So I know that's not the one y'all talking about. I think it's just this one. Because this is the one Doc has. MX Master MS. I don't know what the difference is, really. I definitely don't want the one with the little chip in it. 3 Advanced. So y'all tell me. Which one is it? Is it this one here, MX Master 3, or is it this one here, the 3S? Let me know. I'll get it. I'm just saying it better slice bread and be the best thing since white chocolate hit the streets out here. I'm just saying. It better be magic. All right, Sam, what about a good zoom lens to capture Bible text on the ZVE10? A good lens would be, I like the Sigma 18 to 50 millimeter f2.8 lens. That one's really versatile and good. And you can use it for other stuff. I'm looking, I would think like an f2.8 lens, just because a top-down shot is usually kind of weird for lighting and stuff. Most of us are lighting ourselves. And then we have like side lighting and stuff like that. So you probably need to watch the lighting on that too. But an f2.8 lens is about where I would go. Like I said, the Sigma 18 to 50 would be cool because it's a 2.8. You have good range on it. It's sharp. The other one is like the Tamron 17 to 28 is cool. You probably see a lot of recommendations around that, but the 18 to 50 is extremely versatile. That's the one I would probably look around to, because somewhere in that 20 millimeter to 32-ish sometimes would be cool, but keeping that constant aperture is what you want. So as you zoom in on certain things, plus Tamron does a good job, Tamron and Sigma, they do a good job with it being a minimum focusing distance, so you can get close to it. Like, let's say you want to do B-roll if you have the book, right? You have the Bible, maybe it's open, and you're zooming in on certain pages and stuff like that. Those lenses that have good minimum focusing distances are really good for that, for like B-roll and stuff. But a top-down shot, that'll be good. Plus, if you ever decide you want to change your setup, that'll work. So let me pull that back up. Y'all talking about this Logitech mouse like it's gonna save lives out here in these streets. It better. It better. All right. So this one here, let's pull it up, brother. And it's on sale. So this is a good deal. So $454 today. This would be a good deal to pick up, because it's just a good deal to pick up. It's sweet. So that's worth checking out if you can get it. I think it'll be cool. My opinion. So 18 to 50 would be a good lens to, yeah, I'd go with that one. That'd be my go-to for that. Hopefully that helps you. If you need something different or whatever, it needs to cover a couple other places, let me know. Saying thank you so much. You are most welcome. Saying I'm a fan of the MX mouse. Okay, y'all got my vote. The 3. All right. I'm going to take your word for it. Unlike LeVar Burton, he'd be like, you don't have to take my word for it. I'm going to take your word for it. The MX3, if this is the one, it better slice bread and make dinner for as good as y'all talking about. Is it the 3? Y'all saying the 3, not the 3S. I don't know what the difference is, but I think it's just this one. It better slice bread, I'm telling you. Better be magic made in heaven. And shoot. All right. Well, yeah, I think this is the one y'all talking about. That's fine. I know I used for this one the buttons on the side, which I just picked this one up when we were out of town last year, which is a Bluetooth mouse. So, I mean, this is, oh, it's got the little chip thing, so it can't be this one. No, I don't want that. I just want it to be Bluetooth all by itself, or is that just an option? I don't want this little chip thing. I don't want that. I want it to just be without it, because I don't want to take up a port or anything else. So if that's the go-to, I'm saying So what's the 3S? I'm curious now. What was the 3S thing? I'm sorry, I'm being very obnoxious and taking over the stream here, but I want to know so I get the right mouse. And then Luis, I don't think I've purchased anything through your affiliate link before, so shoot me a DM for the mouse, and I'll give you credit for that on the affiliate purchase for Amazon. So Luis, since that was your recommendation, so throw me an Instagram, or you got my number. Hit me up for the affiliate link for the mouse so you can get credit, brother. FYI, if you don't have affiliate links, if I see your name on the channel a lot and you engage a lot, my secret sauce is I will sometimes make purchases through community members links, especially when I have like big purchases and stuff, just to show support. So don't ever think that you're not being paid attention to or nobody cares. Just like Mila, I've seen Mila on some different things. It's like, so when you're making purchases, I would suggest this anyway. If you got community members that are ride or die and they always around and stuff like that, show them some love. It can be as simple as an affiliate purchase, or if I'm getting like a link through one of these programs or something, I always go look for a creator, buy through their link. I don't have to tell them about it. I don't be like, hey, I bought through your link today. No, just show support. That helps. You never know who's watching. So keep your links in your descriptions. Don't quit. Don't give up. All right. Saying hear that music got PTSD. The wheel of money can't be the winning number because it's the wheel. The wheel is sentient. Saying feed the wheel, feed the wheel. Says $60 originally. Okay, that's cool. I'm glad you found that deal over on B&H. Saying I got my last Mac with the student discount. They may have checked. They made it never check. Well, check and see if you get that logic and all that stuff. Saying Diana, what up though? Good to see you, Mr. P Dash. Glad that you're in the building. Saying you influenced me to start a YouTube. What? All right, now see, I ain't even hit I have not hit nothing. Y'all know my roadcaster is. She might got. See, I ain't even hit a button. I did not even hit a button. The roadcaster is sick. Can I get the button? Got ghost presses on the roadcaster. But shout out to you. Saying I'm trotting along. Thank you. You are very welcome. You know what? The one thing that I will say, I know YouTube is not always easy. There are seasons of suck with everything. But I will never not be grateful for things like this. You know what I'm saying? I will never not be grateful for the ability to literally, you can be a global entity with a free Gmail account. You know what I'm saying? And it's things like sometimes when you start, when it's uncomfortable, when you're having, seasons of emotions where you're having some fears, concerns, things are not great, whatever. But for whatever reason, you kick off that channel. Had I never started and been obedient to the just call of do video, and my mentor is saying, you need to do a video today. And I'm like, you're crazy. But he was like, no, post your videos on YouTube. And I'm like, what? But starting June 2016, a year after having surgery, where literally almost could have been a gravestone, it's like on some real stuff. A year later, starting in video. If I never started in June 2016, never met Sean and Heather from Think, and developing a relationship with them. Shout out to brother Omar as well. Just the whole Think family, right? I love them. They helped change my life. Never got in touch with Ray Edwards. Never got, all these things that happened never would have happened. And then 2020 hit, and all the things that I had been doing up until that point, now all of a sudden, like, one of the most meaningful moments that I remember, and not that there weren't others, but the one that stands out to me was a gentleman somewhere in Africa. And he was like, you helped save my ministry with the live stream videos and stuff that you were doing. Because we was producing a crap ton of videos. So I'm like, people need help. That's how these streams, the Friday Live Helpcast, was birthed. Because people needed help. And it was not enough time in the email inbox. I still have emails from that time I never got to. And I just be like, I'm going live. Here's the link. Join and ask your question, and I will answer every question that pops up in the chat. That's how this stream started. The Friday Live Helpcast was birthed because people needed help. That's why it's called the Helpcast. So I promise you, you may be in that, like, it's hard. I don't know if it's worth it. I promise you, there's always something great on the other side of whatever it takes to push through. Because if it wasn't easy, everybody would do it. A lot of people play with YouTube and they start and they get upset because of, oh, the algorithm. You get a global entity. You can become a global entity with a free Gmail account. I'm finna produce a book. I'm finna write a book. It's one of my most meaningful goals I've ever written down. I just looked back from my journals from like 2016 and stuff, and I put on there to be an author. I just read this the other day and I'm like, dag, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? To be at social media marketing world. And I remember I did that vlog and I'm like, everybody don't get one of these. It takes a whole lot for that organization to put you one in for their community on their podcast, a regular recurring person on one of their podcasts and shows, and to speak at that event. That does not happen. It does not happen like that. You know, it don't have, telling y'all can change y'all life if you just lean into whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing. It could be TikTok, it could be YouTube, it could be whatever. I promise you, there's something amazing on the other side of all of this. It really, really is. If you can just keep that at the forefront, you can literally change your life. I would have been in a whole different situation had I not left that job when I did. Because a year later, like a couple months before COVID hit, they fired everybody. And they was already into these waves of firing people. Y'all better start listening to that little nudge on the inside telling you to do something. It could be the thing that change your life and make some of all the things that you want possible. So brother, sister, I don't know, tell me who you are. But family, I'm telling you, you can change your life. These little old cameras, your smartphone, I don't care what you're talking about, what you're creating content around. You can change your life. Just stop playing. Go for the goal. So I'm glad to hear that you're doing it. So kudos to you. Matthew saying Chick-fil-A is so good. Waffle fries. Chick-fil-A will have you gaining weight. Okay, you see this arm swing? That's Chick-fil-A. That's what Chick-fil-A do for you. No, I'm just kidding. Shoot. He said February, I'm coming back stateside with Chick-fil-A. Definitely on my calendar. I hear you. Thoughts on YouTube course option coming, or at least I heard it was coming. For YouTube, I mean, there's always going to be, here's my thought process on any of this stuff. There's always going to be, like, for example, I could have turned on just like the membership tab or something, and we might at some point, but I just didn't want to confuse people. You can go through YouTube for some of that stuff. And obviously, you know, they'll throw a little sprinkle sauce on it because you're using it, like the community tab, like the live streaming, like the shorts, whatever they're promoting, you start doing it, they'll give you a bit more traction. Excuse me. And that's with any program, any of these tools. Course side of things, I want direct access with my people. I don't want a third party buffer in between there. I think it will help a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to be subject to anything that YouTube has. Like, I don't want a buffer. You know what I'm saying? We at the point now you don't need gatekeepers with the stuff. You got Thinkific, you got Teachable, hell, even ConvertKit is doing some stuff. You got Mighty Networks, which is what we use. People are using, what's the one that Doc use? Can't think of it. In Ecamm. Can't think of what it's called. But Discord. You got people using Discord. You got a lot of stuff. You already can make and have direct access with your people. And there are just some things that I like about doing that. So I can, like, for example, when people need help in the membership community and they DM me and I'm like, let me just set some time aside. Let's hop on a call. They didn't have to pay that fee on the website. Why? They're in the community. You know what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that I want. Or I'm like, here's the file. Or here's that thing I was talking about. Blah, blah, blah. I just like that. YouTube still doesn't have where you can do direct DMs and stuff like that. People go to Instagram. People hit you up on your website. If you have one. I'm just for direct access. Even Kajabi is switching to add in community stuff. And I'm doing a course. I'm going to do a free course around companion course with this book. That's something else that's launching, but we might do that. We might do that through Kajabi. We'll see. Speaking of efficiency, not sponsored, Motion FX is having a Black Friday sale, 30% off. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Motion FX is dope. That's for Final Cut. What is it? Is it like Motion VFX or something? None of these companies own the .com of what you think it might be. Motion VFX. Is it the Motion VFX? I think that's what it is. Yep, I found it. Plug yourself in, get notified. No, thank you. 30% off. Let's go back. Pause for the cause. Go back. So Black Friday deals. These are really good. If you use Final Cut Pro, this is worth you picking up. Let's see. Black deals. Y'all need Black Friday. What do we get? Discounts because we black? What is that supposed? What you trying to say, Motion VFX? No, just kidding. But Black 30. Yeah, y'all gotta do better, man. Some of these companies, they got to do. Watch the language, man. But some of these are cool. I know Doc has used some. I've gotten some for these. These are really good. YouTube Guru bundle. I've seen those. They're all right. But it's okay. Free plugin Holo for those that want YOLO. Okay. You're just playing too much on the language. But this is cool. We'll drop the link to it in the descripciones if anybody wants to play over at Motion VFX. It is Final Cut Pro only, though. For those, they do have DaVinci Resolve, Adobe, but that one I'm just specifically covering Final Cut. But just put the link in the description if anybody want to pick that up. All right. I'm not catching up in the chat. I'm just going through the chat at this point. I don't even know where I was. Okay. I'm about 40 minutes behind. It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. Y'all got nothing to do today. No, just kidding. It's in the Logitech Master 3S. Okay. It's the 3S. All right, y'all. This thing better make magic and sing. All right. It better make magic and sing. The 3S. This is what y'all saying for me to get for the mouse, the new mouse. All right. That's the palm rest. We're going to get it. And it comes overnight, so that'll be cool. All right, I'll let y'all know how it goes. It better make magic. Sing to me in my sleep. Work with the freaking automated systems and whatnot. It better be magic. It best be magic. All right, y'all. Let's catch up in there. So I bought the Mac, I guess the MacBook 14 Pro. No, the iPhone 14 Pro a couple weeks ago. That's sweet. Nice. All right. Saying I stream gaming and a Mac would explode. Okay, I have no comment. Cause yeah. All right. I'm just gonna take a sip. I'm just saying for the other stuff. Jeez, for the other stuff, gaming. Yeah, building a PC it's amazing, right? I've seen your setup because I've seen your videos before. But I'm just saying, geez, you don't have to throw it in our face. I'm pretty sure somebody does freaking do something. All right, send the Mac propaganda. I'm just saying, I'm just saying out here in these digital streets, y'all just get it for game on the PC, Mila, and then just do Mac for everything else and get Ecamm. I'm just saying, get a Mac, make Mac Mini. Here you go. I'm just saying, y'all not living right. See, you can have the PC. See, everybody trying to convert you to get you start living right, my sister. Okay, start living right. Mac Mini, Ecamm, not even just stress-free streaming, stress-free living. Okay, let me put this into perspective for you. My mother had a nonprofit, something that she was doing, some work. She needed to make a video for something. And she was like, well, how do we do this? I said, just go sit in my setup. I'll start the video for you and I'll edit it for you. She got like the grant. She got all the stuff that like she passed all that course, got all those things. So she was able to be successful with it. And they were like, man, that video looks good. You know why? All she had to do was come in, sit down and say her stuff. I sat off to the side just to kind of help, especially if you've never been on camera before and made videos and stuff. And I'm like, just sit down, just talk. Got her the stuff. Why? Because Ecamm. Internet goes out. Like I had to switch my stuff to upgrade my internet. Guess what? I can still record on my computer because of Ecamm. It's not internet based. I'm just saying y'all need to start living right out here in these digital streets. Saying Ecamm supports NDI also, so you are definitely going to get... See, everybody trying to convert you to start living right. Saying I want a Nintendo 64, me as a kid in 1996. All I'm saying is the fact that, like, I was looking at a Pokemon game for the Game Boy Advance or whatever that I have. I just want to play Pokemon. I just want to play Pokemon. Do you know how much this stuff costs now? The Nintendo 64, original Sega Genesis. And I'm just like, first of all, y'all making it seem like we the Atari 2600 out here. The 90s ain't old. The 90s, I feel disrespected. Shoot, we not old out here in these digital streets. They just playing. See, look, my name is made up. Even telling you, my brother telling you here. Just convert. Just let the Lord use you. Equip Institute, good to see you. Glad that you're here. Learning Ecamm in the Stream Deck has helped. Using tools like a text expander and keyboard, Maestro, to elevate the productivity. Words of Miss Diana, simplify, but come on. All right, now, Roadcaster, don't mess this up. All right. Roadcaster a little sick. She's got a cough or something. Let me put the comments right here. Matter of fact, let me readjust my stuff. Real-time Ecamm live for the win. I can just move this down. Oop, I don't want to move it up. I just want to move it down. Ecamm for the win. I'm telling y'all, just change your life out here in these digital streets. Lock those so they don't move. We in business. Said I can give you a French course. I need to learn so here's the languages that I've been practicing recently. Spanish and Japanese. That's what I've been practicing recently. So French gonna have to come in third. But I've been practicing some Japanese and some Spanish, okay? I saw how it's illegal in Scotland to sell land like that. A lot of creators were pushing established titles. It's interesting, the response from them. I don't know, pushing titles? I'm not really sure what you mean by that. I know you said the comment before, but I don't know anything about it. If it's illegal, here's the thing. Most stuff that's a shortcut of, I don't know. People be trying stuff. Hold on, let me adjust. Alexa, stop. Shoot. Mind your business. Alexa, stop. Yeah, shut up. All in my business. So, here's the thing. It's not if it's too good to be true, it probably is. The thing is that most of the time, people be trying to do shortcuts instead of just doing the work. I don't try to play those games. I'm never the kind of person that is going to look for something I've had, and even got DMs from people. You'd be surprised of some of the names. Hey, I can get your account verified on YouTube if such and such, whatever. I'm like, no. When and if and when it happens, it'll happen. Or I can, whatever, people be buying bots to buff their numbers on subscribership. No, subscribers are earned. Most of everything that you want is earned. I didn't call myself the queen of live streaming or the queen of video and stuff like that. My community called me that. And I'm like, cool, I'd take the queen of video. I take that. Queen of video simplified. I don't mind that at all. But sometimes people get into certain stuff. They get caught up in things, unfortunately, just because they don't want to do the work. Not patient enough to do the work. Sometimes you have to do what's required and not what is your best. Sometimes your best is not enough, and you have to do what's required. There's no workarounds for that. So if creators, as you're saying, are doing certain things, just trying to skip the work. Sometimes you can't skip that. What's up, Eric? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Saying I thank God my public school had a music program because now I make my own background. That's nice. That's dope. Said upbeat, Ecamm, a couple of ZVE 10s. All I need to be great. I'm just gonna have to do me and go with the dark chocolate. See, you had a good list. You had a good list until you said dark chocolate. Then now what? See, white chocolate don't stain your teeth. Dark chocolate, just a mess. Dark chocolate, just a mess. Ugh. A mess. Send 3S for Mac. Okay, got it. Connect 3 separate devices. I don't have all those different devices and stuff though, Luis. Like y'all be doing 7 computers, 32 freaking 89,000 inch monitors. I'm simple. I'm plain Jane when it comes to certain stuff. 1 computer, maybe moving to 2 at some point for certain things. I'm gonna keep probably a single monitor, slightly like not that big, a little bit of not ultra wide, but wide monitor. Y'all be doing the most, but to each his own. I don't do all that stuff. I keep it simple. Is there an app with the Bible text? I think that would be great. Better than a lens. Back to that question. I know that there are some programs like my buddy Brady Shearer of Pro Church Tools. If you have not checked out his channel on YouTube, it's amazing. And it's just Brady Shearer now. It's not, he doesn't do the Pro Church Tools name anymore, but you still can find him under that. He has a lot of great programs and stuff specifically built for ministries. So if you're into that, let's go to Brady Shearer. He has, this is my buddy, Brady. Brady's dope. You want something when it comes to churches and all the rest, Brady's your guy. Brady's the go-to. He has all of the things, hashtag all of the things when it comes to ministries. Even when I'm working with nonprofits and I'm doing teachings and stuff like that, I'm like, you need the stuff that Brady's talking about. His company, they have built a lot of tools for nonprofits. I'll pull up one. It's called Nucleus, which they have like the sermon engine in there. Not church, I think, or something like that. Let's do Pro Church Tools. I'll find it and come back around to it. But he has all of that stuff built in, nucleus.church. And it has like the sermon engine and stuff like that. And they even have where you can get stuff for free. Like for, instead of paying the PayPal fees and whatever the other, Tithely, I think is the other company is called. They have stuff for free. Comes with the app. All those different things. Nucleus is that deal. Nucleus is that deal. And it has, like I said, the sermon engines and stuff built into it. So I put this in the chat for you, but it's nucleus.church. And I think he's doing a discount or whatever right now. But this is the website here, nucleus.church. But he has all of this stuff built into it. Web and sermons. All right, so let's see here. Do I have this locked in? I feel like this could be larger. Well, not larger on the screen, just better. But yeah, nucleus.church. But he have all that stuff built into it. You can get a 30-day trial or whatever. They said it's 15% off, 50, excuse me. So let's see how much it costs. How much, Brady? Choose a plan. $149 a month or $9.99 a month. So $17.88 total amount due. And if you look at, okay, I get that's a lot. Don't get me wrong. But if you look at how much all these individual tools, and I know from doing a lot of nonprofit and church stuff and working with ministries and stuff a lot, you're going to spend way more than that. And man hours on trying to find something. I've tested Nucleus and stuff myself for nonprofits, so I can be speaking from an educated position. That is a recommendation. I would say at least try it and see if it feeds into what you're doing, because you can use something like Nucleus, still have something like Ecamm and pull that up when you're doing certain things. So that would be my recommendation. You can even build, like I would build a folder system that I was talking about earlier. I would build that in Ecamm and just do all of my stuff that way. Even if you use the NDI, and I know I'm going extended here, but you could even use the NDI and have your stuff on your phone if you had the Bible app or something like that. So just some suggestions. Just some suggestions. What's up, CRS1? Good to see you. Said MX Master 3 is top shelf. It can be the chip or Bluetooth. Okay, appreciate that. All right, y'all. I will take your word for it. No batteries. It's rechargeable. That's what I need out here in these digital streets. My other mouse broke, and I was debating between a third-party mouse, like what y'all are recommending, or the Apple mouse. The Apple mouse is okay, but I just, for whatever reason, I just don't care for it. Saying agree with supporting creators. Appreciate that. All right. Let's see here. Started live streaming in October, late October. Been learning from several of the Ecamm fam members like you, Diana, now engaging live streaming chat, understanding how essential it is to support 100%. And I'm glad you're part of the Ecamm fam. Saying thank you for doing these. You're very welcome, Mother Oats. You're very, very welcome. Question about your affiliate links. How do you make the links valid through different countries? It depends on so I use Rebrandly. I've been an affiliate partner with, and not even just like an affiliate partner, like can't think of the official title or whatever it is. I've been with Rebrandly for a long time. So with Rebrandly in English, it makes it so that, like, number one, if like for Amazon, if I'm doing certain things, you can get those global links. Rebrandly is a link shortener. So I can look and see what data, even like over here, let me be careful how I share this because I do not want some things visible, but there's no way around it. Let's try this. But I can do certain things. Oh, it's no way for me to show you this without exposing something that needs to stay private right now, but it'll show me data. How about this? I'll take a screenshot and throw it up on the screen. So even something as simple as what I just did with the what's the name? What do you call it? The community tab. I literally just built that. Me using Rebrandly, and I'll put this on the screen real quick. I can see all the data and stuff that I need to when I'm pulling certain things to make sure that it's cool. The Ecamm Live, I pulled that one. That was a screenshot. So because I can do this in real time with Ecamm, this is what I see in Rebrandly. So that when I'm clicking on the certain links, I can make it so that if you are maybe in a certain country or whatever, I make a different link for that, or whatever that root link is. Like you see, it goes to the regular page. It's just like a redirect. If I see I'm getting stuff for certain countries and people are making, they're having concerns because it's not working, then I can do what's called traffic routing and add filters for different things, like a if then that kind of a thing. If somebody's from here, I can do that. Rebrandly is really powerful with a lot of stuff that you can do. I'm gonna take another screenshot just so I can, again, not show something that should be personal or private right now. Let's see here. You got another screenshot. So here, this is what I was talking about here. You see how it says like create a new routing rule? Rebrandly is really cool with the stuff that you can do, and that's why I use it. So you can add in certain things if they're coming from various stuff, like just go to their website and check it out. But that's what I use it. So anything I want, it also creates makes it easy on your community members. Y'all know if I'm recommending something, it's going to be dyna.link, whatever. I even did it in the book. There's no dyna.links in that one. But for the website URL that's associated with that book, we use Rebrandly. So it can take you to the resources page where you can get everything for that book. When it comes to the audio book, you can say, go to, the name of the book.com / whatever. It's a Rebrandly link so that you can go to like audio, and maybe you can get the audio book for free, or like say the first 5 chapters or something. I can rededicate that stuff to whatever. But it allows for a ton of flexibility. So that's what I've been using since 2019. I know for a fact. And it's been fantastic. It's been one of like the best company relationships and stuff that I've had. It's really been awesome. So I'd recommend that for affiliate links. And thanks for all your help. Also, no last minute questions today. Well, say it again. All right, broadcaster, don't mess up. Okay, we can accept the applause. I didn't hit the applause button, but the roadcaster doing what you want to do today. Yeah, when the stream get ready to end, whenever we end, no more last minute questions, because y'all been killing me these live. I'm like, all right, y'all, turn the music up. See you later. This has been great. I have one more question. Wah, 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 wah. Now I gotta sit and wait and answer. Sorry. Let me not skip, folks. Okay, that was one I was on. Powerful testimony, very encouraging for me. Thanks for sharing. Always a pleasure, April. Glad that you're here. Is it Zamira? Please tell me how to pronounce your name so I can say it correctly. Zamira Adams. Is that right? Zamira, or is it something else? But let me know in the chat how to pronounce your name. Are there any apps I can Photoshop videos on, like remove a stain on a shirt? So it's interesting. Yes and maybe. So it's not like a Photoshop. What it is like a tracking thing. You can take, so for example, let me pull your comment down. You can take, and let's say over this letter M, where it should be white, let's say there's a ketchup stain or something, and I want it to block that out. Technically, you can use the tracking tool, like take an image, take a screenshot, so it's the natural shading, it's all of the stuff like the natural lighting from this environment, and take a screenshot of maybe where it's not a stain at or some other letter. Then you can use the tracking, so everywhere you move, that thing moves. So you can do that. So I would just research the Final Cut Pro tracking tool that they built into it now, and you can do it that way. And then there is a program, I can't remember the name of it. I think it's Pixel Film Studios. They have the tracking thing. When I used to do editing videos for clients, and somebody has, like, let's say a really bad blister, I can take other parts of the skin, put it here, and then like do like a feathering tool so it's even without it looking weird. And then it had the tracking and stuff in it, so that blotch is gone. Or if we had another video that they recorded when they didn't have it, same controlled environment of lighting, take a piece of the cheek, take a piece of the other side of the chin, you know, flip it, fade it so it's feathered, and then they'd be like, how do you get rid of that? The magic of editing. So yes, it is. Try the built-in tracking thing if it's just like something on a shirt. If it's something with skin, probably look up Pixel Film Studios, their tracking tool, and see how that works for you. Greetings, Brian Jones, saying hope all is well. Had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrated. Yeah, we still eat. We know America is dirty and shiesty and stuff, but shout out to all our veterans and stuff like that that serve the country. But we know what's what with all of that, but we still eat. It's a conflicting day. Needless to say, it's a conflicting day, but we still eat. All right, let's see who we got here. Saying tomorrow I'm fully repainting one of my walls for a new studio setup. Thankful for friends that can help me achieve that. I'm not manual. You know, some pizza and a box of chicken is not making people help paint no more. So you got to have some really good relationships. Saying Sam 757 saying, hey, tuned in late. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Al Jennings in the building. Good to see you. Nice new thumbnail you got there, buddy. So I heard Mr. Beast on a podcast, I think Joe Rogan, and he talked about having channels transcribed for different languages. Yeah, if you know, especially when you become like a major brand like how he is, that's what we started doing for certain videos. If the top 10 countries, which beyond America, then there's Canada or United States, and then you have Canada. Our next country on my channel, for example, is India. And then we had some stuff from like Germany and Russia, I think, or something like that. And then the other countries that were underneath that, it wasn't that much traffic. And so we used to do all 10. And I'm like, well, I was talking to my assistant. I'm like, let's do English for sure. I've not had anybody from India say that they're not understanding the language and stuff, but it should transcribe for that. So we would transcribe for that. Make sure any words like El Gato, stuff that's not normal, is correct. But we would do those top languages. So when they hit for their language, it's not coming from YouTube, it's coming from us. So they get the real correct words in their language. To the point of doing where I have voiceover people, let's say my India or Luis or somebody, they're like doing the voiceovers for us. We're not there yet, but I do think that's smart. Mr. Beast is on a whole other level when it comes to branding your business and your creative content in a way that people just look at how much money he gives away and stuff like that. I am way more interested in the systems and efficiencies stuff and conversations. So like the conversation that he had with, what's the guy's name? He just hit 1 million subscribers. One got long hair, one has short. What the hell is their name? It's always yellow and black for the branding. How am I forgetting this? All right, I got to pull my phone. I don't know why Rhett and Link is coming to mind, but no, they just did one with them. What is their channel name? They just did a video or something with Mr. Beast. And I know they did. I gotta find it. It's gonna drive me nuts. I gotta find it. Nobody knows. Come on, YouTube. Whatever. Anyway, they did the Colin and Samir. Colin and Samir. If you're not subscribed to Colin and Samir, go check out Colin and Samir. They ask amazingly great questions with Mr. Beast and other producers that are doing things in a whole other different way. The subscribership number, the amount of money and stuff that he give away, that's just the front end stuff that's attractive. Even like with Ryan Trahan and stuff, he talked with Mr. Beast, which is why his penny series that he's done several times. If you look at the history of his channel and his content and stuff, he's done that penny series several times, constantly refining. Had a conversation with Mr. Beast and stuff like that. And he was like, how can I make this more meaningful, important? Getting a penny from, what was he, like in California or something, or, somewhere in LA, getting a penny from there to, what is Mr. Beast in, like Virginia or something? It's not interesting. The elements back of that, and then the systems back of that, even like my friends and I that are other creators, we've talked about that. How would you make that possible? So much so, my friend Jared Brown of Jared and Jesse, he did one. Same thing. How can we do X? You know what I'm saying? So it's so many little intricate things that come with Mr. Beast, with how he thinks about working with tools. And it's literally, this is why you got to get in some kind of creator community. You need people that are understanding what you're doing, how you they need to understand the grind of it all, like the work and the stuff that's required. If they don't, then it just becomes like you becoming this vacuum silo tool by yourself with people that don't understand what you're dealing with and going through. And that sucks. So I would just say, get in some creative communities. So when you start doing brainstorming stuff like that, you have those God-sized ideas. You know what I'm saying? And I think Mr. Beast does an amazing job with that. His thought process around just like what he does, people just pay attention to the money. That's the least of the things. You know what I'm saying? So my thought there, saying, Alexa, mind your business. I be yelling at her like she a little kid or something. It's like, mind your business. Saying, getting wisdom from Diana. And chilling parents flew up to another city this weekend in Rima. Well, good, safe travels for the family. Brady is a goat, 100%. Saying, how bad is the M200? I need something to start off with adult work. Psychedelic Fairy, if you're talking about the Canon M200, it doesn't have a microphone on there. Like, I would not recommend getting that camera. It doesn't have a microphone port. It'd be different if you just wanted like you had a Logitech webcam or something, and you want to stay with Canon, but you don't want to go that route. Like the Canon M200 is like a good webcam at that point, but for the amount of money that it's going to cost, what is this, $475? So let me do some breakdowns in real time for you. Not worth it, my dear. In my opinion, it's just not worth it because it just isn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's this, international? That's $470. So we don't want that one. $449. All right, let's say we trying to stay underneath $500, $600 after taxes and all of that price range. My suggestion, no to this. No microphone. I don't care about the EVF or whatever, but no, because you don't have a way for a microphone. So now you already straight out of the gate are talking about workarounds. This is fine if that's what you want for a live streaming setup and you just want the camera. It's like, okay, but no. I don't know what the Canon M6 Mark II costs nowadays, but let's take a gander. Okay, so we're looking here. We don't want any of these stupid kits. Let's go to B&H real quick. And I know this is probably going to be over the budget or what have you. Okay, so we know we're starting out at the gate $1,000, $798 for used, which means if you went to a website like Swappa or one of these other companies, I can't think of what it's called, but you go to a company like that, say you're getting not third party, you're getting it used. Now it's not $798. Let's say it's maybe You negotiate it down to $550. So way better camera, still small, still if you want to use the EFM mount or whatever kind of body, and you still stay around that price range. I don't know what it would cost on Swappa, but it's worth taking a look. India, she just did a video on her channel about Swappa and like I think how you can find deals and stuff. India catch all the deals. She got like a Sigma 16 for like she showed me like $150 or something it was on sale for. But this is Swappa right here, okay? So I don't know what they would have. Mercari, that's the other one I was thinking of. And I did a video on how you can find these deals, so I'm not showing you anything that you can't do from one of those, just FYI. And let's just see what they've been selling for. No listings. Okay, let's do Mercari. This is the other one that I think is really cool. And Mercari will show you what previous cameras and stuff have sold for. All right, so 10% off one item, 30% off the second one. Cool. We don't need that though. We just need your website to load at any point today. All right, so we don't need walruses. We need Canon M6 Mark II. Mercari is cool because you'll see what the previous prices for things have sold for. So you can see one right here, $740 is what one sold for. So let's say that included some accessories and stuff and some stuff you would buy anyway. You have somebody up here selling it for $1027, but the thing with Mercari is you can negotiate. You can negotiate. Wouldn't recommend any of these DSLRs. 6D Mark II, no. Got an M50 for $451. Hell, even for what that camera, what the M200 can do, $451 is not bad. Comes with a little cage. I mean, if you're just trying to do the basic, I want to record, you don't mind a 30-minute recording limit because that's the issue with either one of those. This one does not have clean HDMI. Well, it does. This is Mark II, it does. So it has clean HDMI. You still are dealing with a 30-minute recording limit for that. But you get in a cage, might come, okay, got a battery. So $451 again, for what you're talking about for an M200, I would not recommend, but something like this, not bad. Not a bad deal. They know they're going to get less if they go to B&H or something like that and try to sell it if they're taking it. So that's what you want to look at. Here's how the breakdown works. When you're thinking to buy something and stay under a certain price range, what does it cost brand new? Not what you want to pay. Don't worry about that yet. What does it cost brand new? Now, if you need to stay on a budget, you can't get brand new. Cool, let's go secondhand. Who's somebody that's using it? Go to Swappa, go to Mercari, go to KEH. You can even go to bnh.com. There's some other websites that creators in the community have shared and we've talked about. So you have your third-party websites, you check in price listings. The next thing that you want to do is you want to go to like a B&H photo video and see if we go over here to the used section. If we go to used, right? And I'm going to be looking for over here on the side, the sell your used gear. This is what I want to see. If I was this person selling, for example, the Canon M50 Mark II, if they're still taking it, okay, this is the camera body only because homeboy ain't selling it with the lens. If it was in the best ever position with, we saw you had the battery, lens cover, maybe he don't have a neck strap, say a charger or whatever. At best, he getting $260 from B&H if he sold that camera. So we know he cannot get that much more money from, like, if he sold it himself, obviously. KEH would give him more money, Adorama even. Now, if we know the most he can get from a camera store is $260 and he's selling that one for $451, then we know we got wriggle room because he is either take it or leave it kind of a thing. Or you can be like, would you take it for $400? Or would you take it, you know, for something like $389 or something, whatever, I don't know. And he like, no, I want at least $420. What about $400? All right, cool. Guess what? We just went from what this camera, not this one, that's the mouse. We went from what this camera costs. Let's go back to the M200. This is how you like go through the process of deciding. I didn't pick that. You go back. here. So $449. So you got the equivalent of something that's slightly better. Like I said, the same M50 rules apply that I said on the original M50. It just has the clean HDMI. If that's what you're looking for, you're trying to stay uber cheap with the things. Even if you went to the Canon M6 Mark II, like if we're looking for something like that, then, you know, see, I don't know what they would sell on Swappa Mark II, but that's how you price stuff down to like negotiate what works or what will be, you know, in your price range. So we go to Swappa, Canon M6 Mark II. Okay, $740 is what one just recently sold for. So if we go back to B&H, for example, and we put in, let's see, the Canon M6 Mark II. Let's go back to where we was at, the previous quote page. So we go over here, Canon M6 Mark II. Let's spell Mark correctly. They're not even taking this camera. Okay, here we go. I'm about to say, so using Roman numerals. So this is the camera body only. This one is the all black version. Nope, wrong tab. So we going with this one. In the best possible condition ever. Let's say he got the battery, he got the charger, he has the body cap, maybe he got the neck strap. $370 for that camera is as good as B&H is going to give him. We know KEH is always going to give more. The other company that I like, they're always going to give more. So let's say instead of $370, they offer like $500. So we know we have wiggle room with whoever wants to sell it at $700, because I know you're not going to get that much money for it if you sell it to a camera store. So whatever your negotiated price is still going to be lower, but that's how you can go from what somebody's listing to what is a camera store going to sell it to you for. If you traded it in, you get more money. But if you're just selling it for the money, this is what you're going to get. I want to get you somewhere in here, this lower third part of that thing. This is my gap. I want to get like right here. They'll meet you there. Most of the time they'll meet you there, or at least halfway, and then you can save some money. So hopefully that helps. Logos, yeah, all of that. Colin and Samir. Yes, Colin and Samir. That's what I was thinking about. That MX or the M6 Mark II as well. It's pretty cool. Saying thank you so much, Zamira. You're very welcome. Glad. Okay, you were telling me your name is correct. Okay, got you. Thank you, Zamira. Appreciate that for letting me know. But you're very welcome. Glad to be of service. We have come to the end of our stream with all of the questions. I'm turning the music up because I'm not taking another one, and we're going to call it a day. If you watch this live or on the replay, thanks for being here. Hope that you all got a lot of value out of it. Look for the community tab. I'm gonna be sharing some additional deals that I find with companies that I think would be worth your while if that's something that is up your alley. But thanks for joining us for our Friday Live Helpcast. Come back next week, 11:45 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll be doing the same thing, answering questions, but with Christmas music. Christmas music. That guy's a little passion. I'll see you on the next one here on the Friday Live Helpcast. Peace.